Grace. And I just looked at his name and it was ESA and I just flipped it and I was like...
Vinny Tortorich here. Hey man, if you're a fan of Izzy, you might be a fan of me too. I'm the guy that gets people to lose a lot of weight. I have something free for you guys. This is no clickbait. Just go to VinnyTortorich.com and there's a big banner. It's a free PDF, how to lose weight. It's an intro guide to NSNG at VinnyTortorich.com. Go check it out exclusively for anyone who listens to Izzy Presley. Thank you.
Rockwood Saloon Authentic Apparel takes rock and roll fashion to a new level with their tees and tanks for men and women. They also make custom shirts, jackets, vests, pants, hoodies, beanies, and more. The Rockwood Graphics Department can design anything from your logo, t-shirt design, promo posters, band swag, and printed at great prices. From tour shirts and custom stage gear to killer threads for the street to the stage, Rockwood Saloon has it all. Rockwood Saloon, authentic rock and roll apparel for stage and street. World tour tested for quality, comfort, style, and durability. Check them out at www.rockwoodsaloon.com. That's rockwoodsaloon.com.
Hi, this is Bobby Brown, and welcome to another fucking podcast.
You kids with your loud music and your Dan Fogelberg, your Zima, hula hoops, and Pac-Man video games, don't you see? People today have attention spans that can only be measured in nanoseconds.
See, son, old legends never die. They just lose weight.
Like a legend and an out-of-work bum with a lot of life.
Yes, Courtney, it is party time. Hello, Hollywood. Hello, world. And hello, my loyal minions. It is good to see you, and it's always good to be seen. My name is Izzy Presley, and welcome to another FN podcast, another fucking podcast, if you like. We are going full-blown Nerdfest tonight. Everybody in this room right now has seen the brand new Star Wars movie, and we are all Star Wars geeks. So we figured, fuck it. Why not? Let's get together, drink some beers, do a couple shots, and Damon will drink some water, and we'll talk some Star Wars for you. In studio, we have from the Cult and from Big Elf, we have Damon Fox. Everybody, say hello. From Faster Fucking Pussycat, longtime guest of the show, Mr. Ace Von Johnson is in the house.
Bring me the young Skywalker.
And from Monster Energy, please give a warm welcome to Mr. Matt Larsen.
Hey, kids.
There you go. Way to get up on that mic, Matt.
Hi, kids.
He's studying.
I'm doing this.
This is
I'm a young Jedi.
You can tell. Oh yeah, that sounds beautiful. You can tell he's
afraid that the energy field will be quite operational when your friends arrive.
Yeah, this is going to be a nerd fest. I love it.
God, here we go.
Make sure you check out all the social media, which is at Real Izzy Presley on the Twitter machine. Of course, I'm on my quest for 1 million followers. At about 2,000, so slowly creeping up there. We're going to get there. Instagram is the same. Facebook, of course, is facebook.com/another effing podcast. And Izzy Presley 1 for all of my appearances. You can check all of that out. Like, of course, the Monsters of Rock Cruise, Cruise to the Edge, and we got Moody Blues Cruise coming up. Hi, Larry. Hi, Gene. Moody Blues Cruise coming up on the 2nd of January. Going to be on that. Doing actually an Elvis set with Frank Hannon from Tesla and the Heavy Mellow Boys. That should be a lot of fun.
Don't be cruel.
Recreating the Black Leather sit-down show from the 68 comeback special. Yes, absolutely. And don't forget, you can, of course, donate to the show because this is not free to put on, and I am broke. It's PayPal is izzy.presley@gmail.com. Simple. Just do that. Just send me money. It'll be cool. Or just buy shit. You can buy shit, too. So... Yes, we're going to be geeking out here a lot. We have all seen the new movie. We're not going to get actually into the new movie until the second half of the show. No spoilers until the second half of the show. I saw it on
Darth Vader's Luke's father.
I've seen it twice.
Spoiler.
You've seen it twice. I was going to go again today, but that didn't happen.
Same.
I overslept. Because sleeping is glorious.
With the homies.
What's up with that? When's that?
I don't know. Just have to make sure everyone's in town.
call
Oh,
call
you're
Jedi.
on the text.
Yes, I was on the. I was. Yes, I'm involved.
Yay!
have
I
friends.
like being included. I really actually wanted to see it again because I was a little distraught.
We need to analyze
during the first one.
But wait. We need to. Aren't we saving this?
Oh no
episode 8 for later?
Yeah, we are. This has actually nothing to do with the movie, but I sit down and the shorts that I was wearing, my fucking phone slipped out. And the movie was just starting. So I couldn't really get on my knees and look for my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
You didn't have your phone to look for your phone with.
Exactly.
Light,
exactly. So it's like I've got, even though I knew there was nothing I could do with my phone during the movie, the fact that I couldn't touch my phone was like really annoying me. And I was really worried about it, even though I know I shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
So it's like
you were distracted.
I was distracted.
You don't want to be distracted.
I know. And then about halfway through the movie, I felt a bubbling.
Uh-oh.
And
Was that in your
it was a
shorts?
painful bubbling. Thankfully, it went away. But my head was still on that fucking phone. And something really pissed me off, too. And I've noticed this. You get popcorn at these fucking theaters now, they don't put the butter on for you. You have to put it on yourself. So you can't get it actually, like when they put it on there for you, it's like they'll put half in, put some butter in, put the rest on top, more butter. And it's great. You can't get that anymore because you have to put your buttery flavor. It's not even butter. It's like oil. It's just horseshit. I mean, this is.
I believe it's not butter.
I know.
Butter and balance.
It's a
when
butter.
You do it yourself.
I know. There is a serious butter imbalance.
I like it when they have the little station with the flavor powders.
Yeah.
I like that.
But still, you can't get it all the way in. It just gets on the top.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you get a big fucking tub and then you get halfway through, it's just dry popcorn. And they make so much fucking money off of the butter, the quote-unquote butter, or not the butter, but like the concessions, because that's the only way they make money. They make money. They don't get money out of the box office.
Correct.
They make money from concessions.
$8 popcorn, $12
and
Coke.
that's why it's so expensive, because that's the
$6
only way the
Juju
theaters
beats.
make money. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're making so much fucking money. Couldn't they use real butter? Is that just too much to ask?
I worked in a movie theater when I was in high school, and all I'm going to say is that the things that I saw inside of that butter pump is why I don't have butter on my popcorn. like little creepy crawlies, yeah.
That, my friend, is what they call extra flavor.
I stay away from the butter.
Bonus protein.
Stay away from the butter. Well, I suppose it's not really butter anyways.
Before I forget, Izzy, I want you to text me, and I'm going to turn my ringtone on. I want everyone to know what your text tone is.
All right, hold on.
for my
Let's
phone,
do this.
Because this is Star Wars related.
All right,
and then
hold on.
I want the guys in the room to guess if they can figure out what it is. I'm sure Damon will get it immediately.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
All right.
It's Jabba's apprentice.
It is Jabba's apprentice, yes.
It's Salacious Crumb.
My text tone's a little more obvious.
Nice.
Nice.
I had to get rid of my Star Wars texts.
Really?
Years ago. I was just making everybody crazy on it. Nice. That's
Nice,
a walk-on
nice.
song. That's big old walk-on music.
No shit.
Of course it is.
I've had a Yoda puppet on my Mellotron for 25 years.
I didn't know that. That's
I had
awesome.
girls try to take it.
Yeah.
It's been pretty interesting.
Just listening to it, I love it.
Never gets boring.
Never gets boring at all. So, I suppose before we go dive into the movie, I think we should talk about our Star Wars geekdom.
Oh, yeah.
Started for me in 77 when I saw the original one. And it pretty much solidified my lack of sex throughout my life, because I actually have the trifecta: Star Wars, Kiss, and professional wrestling.
Oh, I thought you were going to say red hair.
That too.
I can take it further than that.
Well, there you go. I mean, the ab probably doesn't help, but So, when did you guys get into the Star Wars geekdom?
77. I saw it when I was a wee young lad. But I was I can add to your. I wasn't into wrestling. I was into D&D.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, I was throwing fireballs in the sewers.
The mage.
Oh yeah, we were just you. You can actually get totally lost in that game, and just have a very unbalanced reality. But yeah, Star Wars was the thing in the 70s. There was nothing like it. The lines for it were just. I remember seeing like older guys in line that looked kind of cool, like they were in Sabbath or Journey, or they like bell bottoms and they had like beards and mustaches. And I thought all these guys are like waiting hours and hours to see this film. And I thought, it's this counterculture thing. It's this special something.
How old were you when you saw the 77?
I was like 7.
Okay, I was 4.
Yeah, so you can kind of take it in, but you're not taking it in like
right.
Like a teen, like a teenager really.
Right.
7, you're so overwhelmed by it. But
I was
I mean, I saw it.
Yeah,
as many times as I possibly could. My dad used to take me a lot.
Nice. It was. I saw it at the Cloud Drive-In in St. Cloud because I'm from Minneapolis, and I was 4. And then I didn't really get deep into it until like Empire came out, and then when Jedi came out, it's like I went like fucking 12 times.
We actually had me and my best friend at the time. He was his family was friends with Billy D. Williams. So when when Empire came out, we actually got a copy of Star Wars on beta.
Oh wow!
Betamax. Yeah. I vaguely.
Yeah, the Betamax machine was like going to destroy the industry. Because it was Star Wars on beta. So we were actually watching Star Wars in 1980 and at home, and that was every weekend Star Wars. Yeah, let's do it. It was just I came in hundreds and hundreds of times.
Yeah, we had a VHS player in like 83 or 84. And somebody had copied I recorded Jedi, or not Jedi, but Empire off of HBO. So I watched that over and over and over.
I had the home, like the taped off TV with the commercials kind of copy. I mean, I don't know the math or whatever, but I think, like maybe 5 years younger at least by you guys. But I missed all the originals airing in the theaters when I was a kid because I wasn't born yet. But in the late 80s, when I was, old enough to at least have some semblance of a memory, I remember going to Toys R Us, and they were all on clearance, like all the figures.
Wow.
And they were like, I don't know, I'm exaggerating, but like maybe 79 cents a figure, 50 cents a figure, like 2 for $3.
Sure.
And I remember just getting, like, not crazy, but like for $5, being like 8 or whatever, and like getting like 10 figures or something stupid. And then like, okay, I'm gonna keep these 2 in the packaging, and then play with the other ones, and then but having the like bootleg TV VHS tapes, and then when those wore out, or maybe vice versa, I remember renting them from the local library on VHS. Like, like the hard plastic, like you to crack it open VHS, and then at about 12, it was like pre-music, like Chicks, like. You get that age, you're like Pussy and heavy metal. But before that, it was like, I was maybe 11, and there was, speaking of magic, there was like, do you remember that Star Wars magic type game? It was like a card game in the 90s. There was some.
Yes.
There was some.
Yes.
Before the prequels, before what I consider like the renaissance of Star Wars. Yeah. Let's call it like 93, 94.
Star Wars The Gathering.
They did do a big reissue of stuff around that time.
They
did.
Remember
that.
They did, and I remember getting for Christmas one year. I got the VHS box set. You and I were just talking about this.
Yeah. The Laserdisc set came out.
That copy. That copy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Laserdisc set came out in '94 with all the. That was like a pretty big deal to have the.
Yeah.
That was my bachelor party.
Really?
Man.
Yeah, you're dealing with a serious master fucking.
And how's Anna's take on your Star Wars stuff?
She's cool with it. I mean, I went to the. We've been to all the first, screens of it, and I go with a Jedi robe, and
I've been with you in the Jedi.
I'm deep into it. I mean, I had like a special relationship. Like I said, there was those early days when we a really close friend of mine knew Billy D, so we went to 20th Century Fox off of Pico and saw Jedi at the premiere when they were showing the cast.
Wow.
Wow.
Carrie was there, and all the Ewoks were there. Like, I can't remember his name right now. The guy who was
Warwick Davis.
Yes.
Yeah.
From Willow.
Yeah.
He was there because he was the main.
Peck.
He was the main Ewok.
Yeah.
And
Wicket, Warwick T. Wicket.
Warwick T. Wicket, yeah. Nice.
See, nerddom.
Yeah, you're serious. But it was just a trip to see it with the cast there, and just this magical experience,
Yeah.
But as it's gone, there was definitely a lull with the Star Wars stuff, like you were saying, that the Renaissance. Where
I remember.
fans.
I remember in the early '90s or whatever, as a kid, that wasn't cool. There was like everybody had seen Star Wars. It was like Indiana Jones. You'd seen it, you loved it, but it wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't like even in the late '90s where you could go to the mall and get a T-shirt. It didn't exist.
Yeah, we went in '85. We went to the trilogy in Westwood at the AFCO. So the AFCO cinema, and I remember it was me and my best friend Chad and Jason Bateman went to our school. So
wow!
Oh wow!
Yeah, we were just very small, so prep school. But we had sort of ditched school, which wasn't really easy to do when the school's so small because they know that you're not there.
Yeah.
Right.
But we figured, how you have to see a trilogy of this movie. It was unheard of at that time to see 3 movies in one day and sit in the theater. So we went to the theater, and we were late, of course, because we had to deal with schools. There was no other students there, no other kids.
Yeah.
And we ended up not getting, not having enough time to get in the right line to get tickets. And we were walking away just devastated, and somebody recognized Jason Bateman and said, "Hey man, aren't you Jason Bateman? Wasn't your sister on the?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Do you guys want to cut in line?" And we were like, "Yes." And it turned out he was a truant officer, which is so funny.
Wow.
Why are you guys in school? And we're like, "We're trying to see the Star Wars trilogy." He goes, "I can respect that." But it was insane. It was like from 12 in the afternoon till 11 at night.
Scott from Canada says 93 was the Power of the Force reissue.
There you go.
That's probably what I got.
Yeah. Those are when everyone had really big muscles, like He-Man. Like
my God. Yeah, he was all jacked.
Big muscles. They were on the roids.
Yeah.
Roiding out.
I still have some of those figures. Still
I have
box.
a huge Kenner collection. Huge.
Yeah. That's the old school one.
In the 90s,
the real
I
stuff.
used to hang out with my mom, and we would go... she used to be interior decorator. We would go antiquing, hang out, have lunch. And go to these antique shops, and I'd see, in the displays, they'd have some Star Wars stuff. And I'm like, you threw away a lot of my shit. You should buy me that just for fun. So, get a couple things and just look at it, kind of, because that stuff was gone in the 90s. Nobody.
Yeah, I know.
So I started looking in the recycler at the time because I was so big into analog synths and keyboards and vintage guitars and stuff. I knew everything about it and was good at finding stuff. And I just started these huge Star Wars lots. I just started buying stuff like $25 for this huge lot, $100 for just literally gigantic boxes full of stuff. I have AT-ATs without the stickers on them, radio controlled Sandcrawler. Just man, it's got to be worth a fortune.
Yeah.
This stuff. I have 3 shuttles in the box.
Wow,
crazy! I mean, just a massive amount of stuff. And of course, I had to put some stickers on.
Of course you did.
My friends are like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just, like anything else, collecting.
Yeah,
collecting this stuff."
Yeah,
I like what I like. Don't.
They're like, "You're insane. It's not going to be worth anything. Nobody gives a shit about that." I'm like, "You're probably right." And now my Dungeons and Dragons book, which I have like 5 of every book that they ever made, like the Player's Handbook, just closed for $455 on eBay.
Wow.
It's insane. And this stuff, there's not a lot out there.
Yeah.
People. I remember in the '90s, late '90s, my bass player called me. He's like, "Hey, what's that lore that you were saying about the Jawa, the plastic cape Jawa?" And I said,
"Oh yeah,
yeah, that's the most rare, 12 back, the original 8 back or 9 back figure." And he said, "I'm in a antique store in Phoenix, and there's 2 plastic cape Jawas." I'm like, "In the box, with the original back with the plastic?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, don't panic, and don't get weird with people. Just how much are these?" "Well, they're expensive." I said, "Well, how much?" He's like, "They're like $350 each." I'm like, "Buy them, get out of there, and buy them immediately." And I think he sold them for $4,000 or something.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Because they were originally plastic cape, and then very shortly after went to the cloth cape. But I was like, make sure that the bubble isn't pressed. There's some crap that you have to look for with the crazy collectors because they have ways to put the bubble on. But
what was the thing?
Serious geek shit.
What was the thing that you were when you were a kid? If you lost something, what was the thing that you were most pissed off about losing?
I hated losing the weapons to. You talking about toys?
Yeah.
I hated when I'd lose I'd have like for example, like a Ninja Turtle, like he'd have like 2 swords and I'd lose one, and I'd be like, well now, and his thing looks all wonky because his sword holder is only half full or whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
I just hated when a dog got a hold of him.
Oh yeah.
That was the worst.
I hated when the face the like a stormtrooper the ink would start coming off.
Yeah.
That would kind of bum me out, or when they would turn yellow.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have a yellow stormtrooper.
Well,
Because just they start yellowing.
it's kind of like a TV
different.
yellow, like a West Paul special.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, it's not.
Antique.
It's not Star Wars, but similar thing. Like remember GI Joes?
Oh yeah.
The little 3.5-inch figures or whatever.
Talking about money, man. Those things are horrible. That's
Fuck
the,
yeah.
The rubber band and then would snap.
That shit.
The rubber. Oh, yeah, I know. The rubber band would snap in their torso, or that little like crunch, that little crunch plastic piece in the middle.
The
like
Gene Simmons cod.
Yeah,
The skin cod
would snap off or something like that. You know.
The one thing I was so pissed that I lost was I had the Boba Fett ship,
Slave 2,
and it came with Han Solo and Carbonite, and I lost the fucking Han Solo and Carbonite.
That sucks.
I know.
Slave 1.
Yeah, Slave 1.
Slave 1? I thought it was Slave 2. 1.
God
damn it.
Matt?
My beginnings?
Sure, go for it.
It was, I saw it in 77. My dad took me in 77. And, basically my youth was Kiss, Star Wars, Hot Wheels, and Farrah Fawcett.
Awesome.
That simple. My walls had Gene Simmons, Darth Vader, and Farrah Fawcett. I was 7, 8 years old.
Mine was Olivia Newton-John.
I was going to go marry one, fuck one, kill one.
Speaking of, if we're going back to... I brought you through your present.
Uh-oh.
Because I figured... I don't know what to do with them, but let's see what we have here. For Ace, I figure if you're going to be on the road, you might need to do some coloring. So you might...
Whoa! Shit! That is awesome.
Yeah,
wow.
and let's see. Who's more of an arts and crafts guy between the two?
Wow.
Well,
is it someone's colors?
I would say probably me.
Huh?
I would say probably
We're
me.
going to give you the Chewbacca activity book.
Oh, yeah!
Yes.
And because it's your show, you can have the Star Wars storybook, the original.
Wow.
I have the paperback one of this somewhere that I stole from the public library. Dude, thank you so much.
Damon.
But
that is awesome.
Amazing.
My original Empire Strikes Back coloring book.
Pretty classic.
Oh, I like how
my God. The thing colored is Luke's hair. and then there's one, it's a screen, and it says, what's on this screen? And someone wrote, nothing.
Oh, this is badass.
Say, did you guys see the Star Wars Christmas one? Of
course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have a bootleg copy of it. It's terrible.
I was so worried.
Life Day.
What is the following going to be like after seeing that? It was just...
Actually, that was... you get worried. You know, and I was worried when I saw... As much as I liked the Kiss at the Fountain of the Park, it's like there was something wrong.
There was something definitely
there was something wrong with it.
that.
And you're like... Because at that point, Kiss... They weren't Zeppelin, but it was like they do no wrong. It was like it was really happening for them for a really long time, and it just kept growing.
Is it going to go too kiddish? Is it going to keep it that edge? And that was sort of the thing with Star Wars. When the Star Wars Christmas, it was too childlike.
Maybe that was the predecessor to the prequels.
Dengar, Boba, IG-88. No, that's Forlom.
Sammy Burke, we will get into all of that stuff in the second half of the show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Scott.
Which is short for For Love of Money.
Ace, Lori wants to know if we will be dressing up for Star Wars night on the cruise.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to dress up
I have no idea yet.
For what?
On the Monsters of Rock cruise,
nice.
They have like themed nights every night, like like the after party kind of stuff. And one of them is a Star Wars night, and I am fucking stoked.
You can borrow one of my Jedi tunics.
Yes, there you go. Well, he's got his Richie Kotzen hoodie, so that's kind of the same.
Yeah, I was going to wear it tonight. My Kotzen hood or whatever. Yeah.
Ace
I was
Kotzen.
because I saw John Sacco posted like his new picture.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, wait, you said what I was gonna post, which is
he shreds.
He's a great guitar player. Yeah. A friend of ours who he used to tech for Dream Theater when I met him. He checks for
Def Leppard and Paul Gilbert now.
He's a great photographer.
He's a great photographer and an amazing guitar player. He's like one of those just.
He's a very accomplished player, but he's trying to get a new technique. pick technique
from
Paul Gilbert. And it was funny because I thought, how does Richie Kotzen develop this technique to his, because he's such an amazing player without a pick,
right?
Yeah. And I thought it's kind of like I couldn't even imagine redeveloping how to hold a pick.
I don't even know how to hold a pick.
Me neither.
You heard me play. I mean, fuck.
Well, I mean, this brings up an interesting question. Like, has Star Wars fed into your music in somehow? Has it influenced you in what way? In what way has it?
I think
that musical.
I would say, Damon, you more than anybody. I mean,
I think Star Wars. John Williams definitely has the sort of triumphant, epic nature of the scores and the themes. Has definitely made an impact on how I compose and how I do stuff with a piano or a keyboard. There's always that bum 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 bum. The ending of the original Star Wars of New Hope. That's just so beyond epic. It's probably one of the greatest. Just epic things happening. But, there's that lore about Star Wars that probably taps into, George Lucas putting that there's part samurai stuff in there. There's Arthurian stuff in there. I mean, he's a great thief. He like put it all together, made a new soup, and called it Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well, I just figured, with Big Elf kind of going down that Prague lore, that the geekiness of Star Wars would work into the Greek geekiness of Prague.
The Star Wars thing never really... Star Wars is more of a sci-fi thing, so there is that kind of samurai element to the Jedi thing. But the Big Elf thing was... there. It's not as... The words and the Force, things like that. I mean, there was... What was the rapper? He had a... For the words of Star Wars to move over into another culture,
gotcha.
It was kind of hard because they're so well known, so you can't really use something like Jedi mind tricks. Say maybe in the early '90s would have been a cool album title, that kind of thing.
Agreed.
But my thing was more Dungeons and Dragons because there's so many things in that world that nobody really knows about that you can just pick out and use this great Demon Queen of Spiders type of word play that only people who play the game would know what it was, but it just sounds cool.
Right.
Now every band is names.
Right, yeah. I mean, go on the Cruise to the Edge sometime. And you'll know. I mean,
that's definitely big.
Yeah, they do Cape Night. I mean,
they do.
That's every night for me on stage.
I love it.
Cape Night.
That's when I joined the cult. Billy was like, "Hey, Wiz, no more."
Because you're the Wiz, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just straight from Wizard. Yeah, nobody refers to me as Damon anymore.
I'll tell you what's really helped my influenced me musically is beater amplification. I am proud. We just heard the beater. Thank you very much. Thanks everybody over at the beater camp. I'm proud to be their very first artist. And these are handmade, hand-wired, balls-out rock and roll heads. I mean, I don't even know how to say it.
Versatile too.
Yeah, it is very versatile. Much like Matt in the gay sex community.
Wow.
It was right there. It was right there. I mean, come on. I had to rip on somebody.
Walk right in.
It's fucking
sit
hot
right
here.
down.
I know. If I turn the fucking fan on,
you can't. Yeah, you can't open the door.
Because of the
freeway.
Take our
clothes off. It'll be fine.
Speaking of gay sex. So check them out. Beater amplification. They are fucking badass. So, what did you guys... we're not going to actually get into the movie, but I want to know what you guys expected out of the movie. Out of The Last Jedi,
My son had not even...
How old is he, by the way, now?
20? He's 20.
Yes. Yeah. Good memory.
Yeah, he wouldn't even look at a poster.
Wow.
So no trailer for him.
Wow.
I kept saying... I have a little Instagram. Some lightsaber come out. He's like, fucking stop. He would be so aggravated. He's like, I really want to go in with nothing. Like, I don't want to know anything. I'm like, the trailer doesn't have anything. It's really ambiguous, and it doesn't say, there's a red motif, and, they put it so out of place. You think Kylo's going to kill, Leia, whatever happens. The trailer doesn't say anything. It just tells you all these people are still in it, and there's a few little bits that they put out of place to throw you off the trail, and they did a pretty good job of that, because as the movie was going, I was just, wow, this is not anything like what the trailer is saying.
Yeah. Right.
And I like that because sometimes when you see too much in a trailer,
it spoils it.
Yeah, you get all the like Suicide Squad, which wasn't a great movie, but the things that were good in it, all the Margot lines and stuff, they were already said in the trailers. They kind of fell flat in the theater. Like, oh shit, I've already seen that 5 times. But what were you expecting?
What was the question?
What were you expecting?
I think I did myself a disservice by overly paying attention to the like the days leading up to it. Because mind you, I saw it Thursday afternoon, so I saw it relatively before anyone in the general masses did.
I was almost going to go to that double feature.
The double feature was so great, but I'll come back to that. Yeah. But I did myself a disservice because I really wanted to hear all the early spoiler-free reviews. And I just read everything, and I think I put the movie on this pedestal because obviously all the early reviews, at least what I saw, were sparkling.
Right.
They were like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 20 out of 10. They were all, this is the best film since Empire. And so I went in being like, this is going to be the best movie since Empire. That being said, I did do the double feature Arclight on Thursday with episode 7 right into the new one, episode 8. And it was the first time I'd seen episode 7 on the big screen since I think we went 2 years ago or whatnot. And I was like, man, I forgot, seeing it on the big screen. So this is a really pretty fucking great movie. It's not flawless, but nothing is other than Empire. But I was like, man, this is a really good movie. And then seeing the new one right after it, back to back, it definitely did not meet my expectations, is what I think I'm getting at. I really liked it. Like Izzy and I were saying a minute ago, I think I need a second viewing.
Oh, you definitely need a second if you're even questioning anything.
I need a second viewing. I really liked it. I did not love it on my first viewing. And that's all I'm going to say. And I've had a couple people go...
Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into
go, I agree with you. I've had a couple people go, you're crazy. So, but then again, I've had people, like Dane from the Rainbow last night was like, just all the thumbs down. And I was like, I was like, wow.
People are really split on the movie. I don't understand it myself. What about, what was your...
Well, it's definitely in my top 9 of my favorite Star Wars.
What were you expecting out of it?
Well, it's sort of the same thing as Ace here. I kind of read some of the early reviews and whatnot, and I had a lot of expectations going into it. And, coming out of the prequel, or the original 3, you go from Star Wars to Empire, so you got to think that, some of those expectations that Empire, that would have on Empire. And visually, it was stunning.
Yes.
Probably the most visually stunning Star Wars I've ever
Can't
seen.
argue with that.
Yeah.
The plot and whatnot, I was waiting for some of those oh my god moments. Luke, you're my son type. There was none of that in there. Maybe, are we going into spoilers
Too early.
now?
Too early.
Oh,
Too early.
Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
Wait, who would be Luke's son?
Or Luke, you're my father. Excuse me. Oh, it's that Shadow Yeager. But there wasn't really that many of that oh my god moments. But I think a lot of it might be setting up for what's to come.
Correct. I would agree.
Sort of my feeling on it, and again, just visually, it's just such an amazingly shot film.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess this obviously isn't giving anything away, but the whole theme of the movie really was "fuck the past."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's
I don't know if that's entire.
I think so.
I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to talk about if we're not going to get.
No. That's all right. We'll get into that.
I think it's really important with these kind of movies when we're all so engulfed in our childhood, regardless of what decade you were born in. There's some I know people that are just not Star Wars people.
Yeah,
right.
I think if you're,
I don't get them. Someone says, "Oh yeah, I'm not really into the Beatles." I'm like, "What?"
What are you, retarded?
I mean, I'm more. Yeah, I don't know. It's just bizarre. Like, I get how people don't. I mean, I love when people text me or email me and say, "Hey, I know you're a Star Wars guru. What should I do with Star Wars? I never really got into it. How should I watch it?" And just watch it the way they came out. Don't
exactly.
Don't go chrono and try to get all.
No.
Just see the best first, Star Wars and Empire, and then you'll just find your way back and do the whole thing. And then once you've done it all, then you can go chrono and see how.
Yeah.
Do you think there's anybody in this world that doesn't know the line "Luke, I am your father"? And then
no, it's pretty iconic.
Yeah, that even if they've never seen the movies, I mean, they obviously know that's gonna happen.
I'd like to point out that my girlfriend said, "Luke, I'm not your father," and I said, "Babe, have you actually seen that movie?" And she goes, "I don't think so."
Oh,
and I was like, minus a point.
Yeah. She
Love you.
takes a point away. But I mean, that's the thing. Certain. I mean, sometimes girls are like really into it, and then sometimes it just kind of they just wasn't one of those films that they were.
Yeah, but most of the girls.
Is it
like
it's a pop culture?
It is.
It is.
Pop culture.
I know like tons of girls that know tons about Star
But
Wars.
most of the girls that I know that know a lot about Star Wars look like Matt.
That's not story.
Matt is a very attractive young lady.
There's a lot. There's people. There's a lot of. I've met a lot of guys that are like, yeah, I just wasn't like a big Star Wars guy. Like I saw it, or you know.
Yeah.
You know, but how old are they? Generally younger?
Off the top of my head, I'm just a bit surprised. Like I was really like
I
I
feel
feel like
like-
around the same age.
I feel like if someone said, "Oh, I saw Star Wars and I hated it," I would be like, "Go, get away." But I feel like I know tons of people like, "Oh yeah, Star Wars, I've seen it." You know, like
I think it's just not a big
it's
deal.
just
for them.
not a big deal.
Star Wars,
Right,
changed,
okay.
Star Wars changed my life.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it
changed the.
I mean, I have 3 Star Wars tattoos. That's silly.
It's massive.
You know, it's like, it's not like how I decorate my home, and I don't have as much stuff as you do, but I definitely read the lore and like know trivial nonsense. And like, if the movies, like I'm having, like you guys start talking, and by the way, Izzy's got episode 7 on the TV here. Yeah. You guys start talking, I just go back to watching the movie. If it's on,
Right.
I'm gonna watch it. You know what I mean?
What I was
yeah.
gonna say was like I think it's really important though, being super fans.
Yeah.
And I did this. I was very grateful. I was very glad that I didn't. When Force Awakens was going to come out, my son and I, Baron, I bought the marathon. We had tickets to the marathon at the I think it was Cinerama Dome or something like that. So that was starting from
21
yeah,
hours.
the first 3 hours that are the first 3 movies that are cartoons.
Yeah.
I can defend. There's a lot to be talked about with the first 3 movies. That's unfortunately they're not. There's a lot of not great things in them.
Right.
But there are great things in them.
I'm not
It was
disagreeing
just
with
the
that.
wrong time for Lucas,
Yes.
and he shouldn't have been directing those movies.
Yes, I agree.
But he's
100%.
got great ideas. The ideas. He's in the right.
The
He's in the
story
right
arc is correct.
I mean, the
Yeah.
trade
The way it was
embargo and all
shot.
this. It was so hilarious. My friend just posted. Just got my 11-year-old son. We just watched everything, and now we went to Last Jedi, and he's really an Anakin Skywalker. Yada yada yada. And he goes, he did kind of get lost in the trade embargo thing, and I texted him like, dude, everybody gets lost in the trade embargo. He was so high, like what kids are gonna like? That movie was immediately boring with this trade embargo, but Qui-Gon Jinn, young Obi-Wan, Darth Maul, pod racing, young Anakin. There's so many great things about it. It's just sad that it's in it's like, have you ever seen The Phantom Edit?
No.
Phantom Edit is the movie is basically Phantom Menace without Jar Jar in it.
Oh,
I have
some
seen
parts of that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's something there, and I actually have that as my second to least favorite of all the movies. I actually think Attack of the Clones is my least favorite. Just don't like that movie. I mean, I was jumping up and down during it when Yoda's fighting Count Dooku. It was just insanity. You're like, oh my god, Yoda's gonna fight.
Yeah.
This is absurd. Django Fett. There's all kinds of amazing things.
Right.
But they're just not good
Lee.
movies,
It's funny. I had the other night in my Uber, I had this guy that he had an interview with, I think, ILM, and he said they gave him like this tour that they give everybody, and they have this thing from a fan that they sent in, which was Jar Jar and Carbonite.
That's great.
Like, that's the greatest thing ever.
I think, you and I were talking about this the other day, or I was lecturing you.
Yes, I had an hour and a half long lecture about the Star Wars lore.
My Star Wars symposium there, and I was telling you that I thought a big factor in the prequel trilogy was Lucas's personal life. He had a bunch of kids that were 10 or around that age, young kids, and I think he was a different person when he was writing these sequels, and I think he was sort of catering to, I have kids, let's write these kids movies. And when you think about Star Wars, the original trilogy, it's not like completely adult subject matter, but it's not. There's like when in A New Hope, like he shows up and he's like his fucking uncle and aunt have been incinerated, and people are getting their arms cut off and stuff. I mean, it's kind of mature.
The thing that's hard about where we are with Star Wars, which you were like saying that you were a little kind of bummed a little bit, like not having that oh shit moment, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel the same kind of with all the things, but like I was trying to go into the movies with a little bit like, okay, look, Star Wars: A New Hope is kind of like legit, it's like his Godfather.
Yeah,
it's his Jaws.
Absolutely.
He had American Graffiti, but that was just him, having a go and trying to. That's a cool movie. Yeah. But Star Wars is like this magical thing that George Lucas made, and he it's just something that happened. It's like the Beatles. It's beyond. But he did not direct the next movie.
No, he did not.
Empire's a perfect, great film. Was
that Lawrence Kasdan that did that, or
no? It was Irvin
Kershner. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why that movie is so great.
Yeah.
Because you have the setup of everything that George was onto, which was perfection.
Right.
And then you take it to Empire, which is an amazing story. Everything's just amazing about it. And then
I know.
He doesn't have to direct it.
Greatest line in the history of film.
Totally.
But after that, he's kind of just loses the...
He took a back seat to the whole thing.
He just loses it a little bit. Return of the Jedi I mean, at the time, I was just losing it as a kid, and I still love watching it, of course, but it doesn't hold up as well.
Yeah.
The acting is there's so many weird things in that movie, the Ewoks, and and then when you go back to the first three, if he was writing it and guiding it, I think it would have been great, but have someone else directing it and helping the acting.
I agree.
I think that's why Empire is so great, is that he's a part of it.
And then talking about expectations as far as the new one, I know we're not getting into it yet, but like I feel like if I was maybe 10 years younger and had totally missed that, if I had missed the original, like, okay, what we're getting at, by the way, the shot's kicking in here, knowing the original trilogy and then having grown up before that and leading up through it, I think that's why my expectations were what they were, or whatever, or my results after seeing it are what they are. But I think if I was, let's say, 5 years younger, 10 years younger, and I had grown up on the prequel trilogy or having this whole canon, or if I was like 12 right now, I would think the new one was awesome. Right. But being a diehard Star Wars fan, that we all know that the original trilogy, if you will, is the best, and you can't top it no matter how great 7 is or Rogue One is, whatever. That original trilogy, especially the first 2 films of that trilogy, are just sacred and are still, you can't top those.
Do you, Ace, you weren't alive yet, but Matt and Damon, do you remember...
Matt Damon,
hungry. Do you guys, and I don't remember because I was just a little bit too young, but do you guys remember what the anticipation, the build-up was for Empire?
Massive.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking big.
It was massive. Yeah. Star Wars. Go ahead.
Well, I couldn't go opening weekend for. I had to have my dad take me. He's no way going to wait in line for hours to see this thing, so I had to wait a couple of weeks, and I was biting my nails the whole time. It's a huge.
Yeah, I think Star Wars at that time, I don't think anybody had ever experienced people waiting in line for Star Wars like they were. I think the only movie that comes to mind is Titanic.
Yeah.
Where people were seeing it twice, 4 times, going back a 5th time. That was what Star Wars. I think
it was a phenomenon.
It was a phenomenon. It was like
it was cultural. Yeah, it really was.
There was the effects. It was the story. It was the whole thing.
They said, I was reading something, and one of the many things I was reading is saying that Star Wars is the second biggest movie phenomena ever, and I was trying to think what the first one. I'm assuming Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings.
What I would go back further, probably before.
Or I mean, it's not James Bond, but I'm trying to think what would be up there at that level.
Star Wars definitely changed the game. It changed everything.
It changed. I mean, look, ILM. I mean, Lucasfilm. I mean, they were ground. I mean, the stuff they were using, behind the scenes, whatever, to get those effects. I mean, it was groundbreaking stuff we still use to this day. But yeah, I mean, I wish I was there for that. I wish
don't think people were
in the
just the waiting in line, that kind of phenomena of camping out.
I remember that for the prequels.
When I was at the trilogy, It was like watching, like I swear, when I was at the Trilogy in Westwood in 1985, it was like watching Rocky Horror Picture Show, but Star Wars.
Yeah.
There were people yelling. People were yelling out parts of the scenes. Like as soon as in Empire, when he was about to kiss her, it's like, "She's your sister." I mean, it was just a show in the show of all these people. I mean, I think when Luke comes out, he comes out to the sunset. The whole fucking audience just was standing ovation for Luke, and then Vader comes on scene. Everyone's booing. I thought this is going to be insane. It's not even. You can't even watch the movie because it's this experience with all these psychos. It's like Star Wars psychos.
It was like... Go ahead.
There was like that when I saw the new one like a couple days ago. There were people, like as soon as someone would come on screen, it was standing up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And then you had to quickly shut the fuck up because the movie was still going.
But because I was at the Trilogy, I actually decided to make a play, as hard as it is in this modern age, to get tickets to things. I got tickets to the Lord of the Rings Trilogy at the Dome. And that was... I'm a fan, and that was Fellowship is one of the finest movies ever made. But it wasn't the same. It was exciting. Yeah. It was cool to see them all together. I mean, at that time, I think Fellowship Director's Cut hadn't been out yet, or had just come out. Two Towers Director's Cut wasn't out yet, and it was actually the world premiere of Return of the King. So the excitement was pretty high. Didn't even touch Star Wars. Yeah.
Well, shit. I remember the excitement when the fucking special editions came out.
That I remember.
That was pretty exciting. Yeah. And then there was
that was
excitement, and then you watch and you're like, what the
fuck did they do here?
I know.
Actually, Empire still wins with that because it's still pretty great. With the
only thing I think personally that they fucked up when they did, or George fucked up when he did those, is I think he fucked up some parts in A New Hope, obviously,
for sure,
and he fucked up some parts in Jedi. Yeah. But when I watched his what is it called again? Is he the redone special edition of Empire? I don't see anything that bothers me.
Yeah,
Empire's very subtle.
I think he just was like, well, it's already perfect.
He did things that were tasteful. The Wampa scene was always something like everyone wanted to see what it was.
Yeah.
And it was killer. What he put in was totally
right.
It was logical and it was tasteful.
Yeah.
When they're in Cloud City, what was normally a blank wall, you see a city.
Yeah.
It was very tasteful.
Well, I hated that they changed the dialogue when Vader's talking to the Emperor.
Oh, when they put in the actor, I can't remember his name.
That was, I mean, for the continuity of the series.
Yeah, but
I didn't mind that. Those kind of things I let go by. For me, it was
Ian McDermott, the actor.
Yeah.
Yes.
It wasn't the fact that they put him in. It was just the fact that they added extra dialogue, like trying to explain too much.
Wasn't that actor a woman?
It was, I think.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, the original
actor
was a woman. But
the son of Skywalker was not a Jedi.
I'm afraid your friends.
That's one of my
favorites.
But the Star Wars thing is it's hard. It's because it looks great. When they reprocessed the film or did whatever retouching,
the explosions and
it's
shit.
Just phenomenal. There's so many things that are great about it, and I can deal with Obi-Wan's home being a new. These are things that I could, things that are tasteful.
Yeah,
but Mos Eisley is like, for me, you can't do that to him.
I know.
And what about in Jedi with Jabba's Palace?
Oh my god!
I can't even talk about Jedi. Jedi's like, it's so upsetting because that was already him trying to make up for not having the budget for the cantina scene.
Yeah,
and the cantina scene is exactly what you want it to be.
Yeah.
Dirty, edgy. It's not. It feels sleazy. It doesn't feel totally tampered with and buffed over and everything.
Yeah.
And
exactly the same in Jabba's Palace.
There were a couple too many Muppety, like under budget. Like if you've watched the Empire of Dreams documentary.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, it comes with the DVD box set from maybe 15 years ago.
Oh, sweet.
Original trilogy. I'll loan it to you. It's great. It's like a 4-hour documentary.
Yeah, it's amazing.
All the stuff behind the original trilogy.
I've probably seen some of it.
And George is basically like, there are basically, we were under budget or over budget. We had whatever.
The makeup artists were actually in the...
Yeah, and they were like, so we had this effects company, and they're like, look, there's a mask of a praying mantis. We'll just stick that in there. And they were kind of reaching, and you can...
It's there. It hurts. Like, it's cheap.
Yeah.
Well, it's the CGI stuff.
Yeah.
It works, though. For me, the first sequence is a Wolfman mask, and it's 1977.
Yeah.
It works. Like, you could have touched that up, but then to get to Jabba's Palace, I remember when we were talking about expectations, we were thinking. You see the trailer and you're at Jabba's palace. I'm thinking this is the sleaze lord of the galaxy.
Yeah.
He's got Han. This is going to be so epic, and it's this like dancing lips and the whole thing with this blue.
Yeah. What's his name? I know the girl's name is Ula. The green.
I can't
the
even
green
remember. I
skin.
have so many thoughts going through my head. It's going to come. What's his name?
Max Grebo.
Max Grebo and
Yes. Nerd point. AJ.
Yeah, you're good with the names tonight.
Oh, Ace is amazing with the grapes. Names.
Take your grapes and fuck them. It was just such a letdown.
Well, it's the thing that makes me think of is the Family Guy when they did Jedi, and in that scene also there's a sock. Yeah. You know, it's like fucking.
Jabba's great.
Yeah,
Jabba's fucking great. Leia's great. Everything about it's great, but they could have just. Why isn't it like Bib Fortuna's cool? It's like there's this really great element to it, but it comes off kind of like Dark Crystal or something. It's just got this wrong tilt to it, and that's what that's what they're doing right with Star Wars today.
Right,
is actually making films that have there's so many layers to these fucking movies.
I know.
I'm not a Rogue One fan.
Really?
Wow.
Oh, that's my favorite.
It is.
I
love the way
Rogue
One. I love the way it looks. I just don't feel Star Warsy about it.
Is it because they didn't have the scroll in the beginning?
That really didn't. I just
see that bothered the hell out of me.
I just had no wood after that. I was like, oh, this is how they're going with it.
Yeah.
Holy shit! And I was kind of excited. I think I did what you did, which is I read some stuff and I'm like, Vader is probably going to be in a third of this movie. Because how could you have the opportunity to get this 3.5 moment between the two and not access the greatest villain in the history of cinema?
Right.
And he's just in it for like 2.5 minutes. I'm like, I was so bummed at the end going, that can't be it. Like, because we're never going to see Vader again. Like, how is it possible that you can... And the stuff that he was in was so amazing.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed. Like, oh, shit. Like, probably close to what you're dealing with Last Jedi. You were having these levels, and it's important to set yourself up right for the movie. Hence, I didn't go to the 21-hour marathon. And Baron's like, let's just do it. And I said, you know what? This is a big moment for me, dude. I'm like, I saw these movies when they came out in the theater. I have to see Force Awakens, the movie after Jedi, clear.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta just see this lucid, like, I just want to see this for the first time. And even then, I was like, out of body. I was so, like, confused with him when he's talking to Kylo for the first time. He's like, I don't know, should I talk first or you talk first? I'm like, they're going for this joke stuff already? I'm like, I was so thrown off. It wasn't until...
Well, they start the new one with a joke, too.
We'll get into
that, but you know what I'm talking about, though.
I was worried with that.
Yeah.
But as soon as she pointed to the piece of junk and they get to the Falcon, I'm like, okay, we're on track.
Yeah.
It feels like a Star Wars movie finally.
Yeah. But see, I loved that line, though. Do you talk first? Do I talk first? Yeah. I thought that was great.
It was a little much, like, right in the beginning for, they have to realize that there's so many fans, like, not just new fans, not young fans.
Yeah. I get it.
The dialogue.
Yeah.
That, you're looking for.
It was too soon.
I thought...
It threw me off. Like, my son was even like, we were like, what the hell is going on?
You can swear. It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's another fucking podcast.
I haven't seen 7 back-to-back with 8, and I know we're not going to 8 yet, but seeing them back-to-back the other day, that was cool, but I think that hurt my feelings towards 8.
I'm sure.
Because I watched 7 on the big screen again, and I was like, you know what, this is a pretty good fucking movie, man.
Yeah, it's good.
And then I went into the next one being like, okay, Last Jedi, you better trump the other one. And it personally didn't for me.
And your whole world is spun at that point. Because my son was like, do you want to watch Force Awakens? I was like, I've already seen it like 20 times or something. Like,
right.
Like so many little pieces of it, maybe 40 times. Like, but it's like, let's just go in and see Last Jedi because you don't even know what you're watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
You're going in, you don't even know the movie of nothing. And it was worth it because I came out with Last Jedi being third in the entire series for me.
Really?
Wow.
Any favorites?
Yeah.
So New Hope. I'm assuming Empire, New Hope, and then
Star Wars and Empire are like the same.
Yeah.
There's just something about the original Star Wars that has this edge for me because it doesn't know it's Star Wars yet.
Yeah.
It doesn't know anything about what it is.
Yeah, and then
the actors don't even know what the Force is. So it's like when they're doing it, when Vader says, I've been waiting for you, Obi-Wan. That scene is so intense to me because Alec Guinness is like, what are are we doing? But
a master of evil, Doth.
It's so amazing. It's so fucking unbelievable.
Well, plus, when we saw it, it was just called Star Wars.
There wasn't even a subtitle yet.
There's something about it that there's some jokes,
Yeah,
but
of course.
Because I want to get this big walking carpet out of my way. There's some of the Star Wars humor, but Empire.
Aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper?
Yes, but they're good, and they're barely jokes. Yeah. Empire really ramped that up. You scruffy looking Nerdfest and 3PO.
I'd rather kiss a Wookiee. I can have that arranged.
Yeah.
Or I can arrange that.
Yeah, 3PO he was like less droid-like. He was really droid-like in the first movie. He became more flamboyant and, oh God, R2.
You can say it, he became gay.
It was amazing in the first one. He goes, no, I'm not going that way. It was much more dry.
He was more Butler-like.
He'll be malfunctioning. Malfunctioning. It was cool.
Oh, thank the maker.
Yeah, exactly. There were some cool bits, but Empire's utterly, perfect.
Sorry, best movie.
Hot. But Last Jedi third, and then I actually put Revenge of the Sith fourth.
Really?
Wow.
That's the third one, right?
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith with more viewings and just more viewings and more viewings, it just holds up, especially in my heart because I know what it was trying to be.
Yeah,
right.
It's almost there, man. It's almost.
See that one doesn't grab me until the end when the transformation is happening. When you can see the fucking anger coming out in that fight with Ben.
No, I hate you.
You were my brother.
Yeah. It's not a none of the film. This is what I was getting at. None of the films are perfect.
No.
The first two are just these glorious golden eggs, and then after that, I could rip Force Awakens to shred. There's so many things about Force Awakens that kind of bother me. I go, why did they put that in there? Could have just been.
We'll get into that. And
the new film has so many things. I'm like, God, it would have just been so much better without this. Because they're on such a great roll, but you just have to let that stuff go. And Revenge of the Sith is one of those that I get. There's something about. How do I learn this power not from a Jedi? There's some really deep shit in that movie. The
whole midichlorians thing.
Yeah, and they've never even called that back, which I think is strange.
Right. Yeah, there's some weird shit in there. I mean, what's the multiple hand? Grievous. General Grievous.
Yeah.
Some cool things, some uncool things. It's. But, I mean, nobody likes the prequels. But
no. Sorry, guys. If you like the prequels, you're wrong.
All right, so hold that thought. Scott from Canada, the Great White North. Empire raised the bar for all sequels across the movie board.
Correct.
Not many even come close to the lead-up that movie had and staying power.
There's a couple.
Godfather
2.
I was just going to say that.
Godfather 2.
Godfather 2 is I consider them. It's literally the exact same scenario. Mm-hmm. I just give Godfather 1 the edge because they don't know they're making Godfather yet.
Yeah. Right. Just like Star Wars. I mean,
there's something so special about Godfather 1. Godfather 2 is like a perfect film as well. It's just there's just something special about it that kind of isn't in the second one.
Better than the second part of Deuce Bigalow, American Gigolo?
Or Teen Wolf 2.
Or Teen Wolf 2.
or my favorite sequel, Arthur 2 on the Rocks.
Wow.
Grease 2, come on!
There it is.
Grease 2's got some hilarious
bad stuff in it. It really...
What was that blonde actor in Grease 2?
Maxwell Caulfield.
Is that the lead? Yeah. Was he like Australian or something like that?
I think
he's
British. Yeah, he was in Boys Next Door, actually.
There should have been a Xanadu too.
Xanadu or Zardoz too.
Scott also says Godfather 2, Aliens.
Aliens is good.
Are two of the other great sequels. Well, let's do this. Let's take a short little break, and we'll come right back, and we'll get into Force Awakens and what we liked and what we didn't like.
Last Jedi.
Yes, Last Jedi. Sorry, it was on. It's on.
We'll get both.
Yeah, fuck it. We'll do both. That's what she said.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
All right. It's another fucking podcast.
Rockwood Saloon.
Hey, ladies. Sass Pants Designs will take that rock shirt that everyone has and make it your own in a flattering, sassy, and simple way. There are one-of-a-kind tank tops, lace-up tees, and tube top dresses already in stock. Check out the online store at sasspantsdesigns.com and like Sass Pants Designs on Facebook for special offers and custom orders. That's sasspantsdesigns.com. sasspantsdesigns.com. Sass Pants will make you the envy of the party.
RockstarLeatherworks.com is your home for badass rock and roll gear. Featuring 100% handmade leather bands, watches, cuffs, bracelets, and more, Rockstar Leatherworks has something for everybody. Whether you are going to the show or you are in it, you can find something to fit your needs. Choose from a variety of designs or create your own masterpiece. Their bands and watches are second to none. They also ship internationally. Who needs a stage to be a rock star? Check out RockstarLeatherworks.com.
Retro Arcade brings Minnesota and surrounding areas arcade games from the days gone by. All of those great games from pizza joints and arcades are available in cocktail units and custom machines. Dozens of favorites from your youth in one machine to complete your game room or man cave. Retro Arcade also sells and services your favorite pinball machines. Find them at facebook.com/80arcade. That's facebook.com/80arcade. Retro Arcade. Your youth is just one click away.
If you need to promote your band or business, or just want to stylize, personalize, or customize your ride, check out vid-decals.com. Want to create and customize your own stickers representing your band, or make your own bumper sticker? Vid Decals can do it. All stickers are printed on quality vinyl and can be placed on any flat surface. Stickers are an affordable way to promote your band or business. Go to vid-decals.com to get started. That's vid-decals.com. vid-decals.com.
All right, and we have returned. Make sure you check out A&P Productions' laser engraving division as well. Hold on, we're going to enjoy this conversation right now.
Oh, we talking? Sorry, I thought you muted these.
Nah, I didn't mute you.
So I got crabs again. And
well, yeah. See, I don't get that because I shave.
No, you don't.
I guess you know. Check out A&P Productions' laser engraving division, the great people that do my roadie packs, which consists of a flask, a Zippo, a flashlight, and a dog tag, all with the Another Effing Podcast logo on it. You can have one for just $29.99 and $5 for shipping inside the continental United States of America. Just PayPal me that shit, and I'll send it right out to you. It's the roadie pack. A&P Productions Laser Engraving Division. If you want something done, I'm holding right now this glorious coffee mug that they sent me. It's got the podcast logo on it. Heavy duty. Feel this.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's great. A&P Laser on Facebook. Check those guys out. If you want shit done, they can do it. If you have a sidearm, you can bring it to one of their shows, and they do gun shows. They can fucking laser engrave anything you want on your gun. I mean, this is how good they are. Check them out. A&P Laser Engraving, and also John Palumbo. Laser, and also John Palumbo Design. We love John Palumbo,
hey, John.
And he designs stuff like web stuff and graphics and all that kind of good stuff. So check out John Palumbo Design on Facebook and johnpalumbodesign.com. We do love John Palumbo. All right, now I guess it is time to get into the Last Jedi. Ace, I think we've kind of heard your initial thoughts. The build-up wasn't quite as good as you thought it would be.
I really liked it. I did not love it. There were, like Matt said, visually stunning. It was visually amazing. There were some plot points. Are we going full spoiler?
Yeah, we're going.
So, by the way, if you haven't seen the movie, this is the spoiler point. So
if you haven't seen it,
I don't want to get a fucking Facebook message. Way to fucking spoil it for me. Stop listening, okay? Because we're going full balls deep on this now. Or whatever. And so I really liked it because it's fucking Star Wars. I mean, we can't get any worse than maybe some parts or most of the prequel trilogy. So moving forward, that's my opinion, of course. And so of the last three post-Disney purchase franchise, currently sits at the bottom of the three. Personally. Now, that being said, I've seen the other two, being Rogue One and Episode 7, at least a dozen times each.
Right.
Multiple times in the theater, multiple times at home, and I've only seen The Last Jedi one time in the theater. Currently, that's where it sits. That doesn't mean things can't change. it was there were. Here's where I felt like a kid again. I felt like a kid when I saw remember the 90s with the re-releases.
Oh yeah.
I sat there just on literally holding the edge of my seat, like leaning forward, like just enthralled. That's how this one started for me. Maybe more so than the last two films. Right. And here's where they lost me. When Leia got blasted out into space, and there was like maybe 2 minutes of film that continued, where I was like, okay, so that's how they get rid of her, and she's gone now. I'm willing to accept Carrie Fisher has passed away, and we have to kill the character. And I let go. Right. And by the way, Carrie Fisher, we hail you, and rest in peace. But I'm gonna get all emotional or whatever. But I love you. Yeah. But when she was like, "Nope, I'm gonna fucking Xanadu my way back into this shit," that's when I released my grip on the seat and I leaned back and I did this with my arms. I went, "Huh, okay." Right. I was like,
"But
okay."
See, okay, now this leads to my question about that. In between Jedi and The Force Awakens, did she learn the ways of the Force? She had to have. So
No, Leia has. They just showed it. They just decided to show it. Leia. That's part of what is just splitting people on this new movie, because they're taking a couple little moves here where it's
right.
I've heard everything from a witch and the Superman memes with her.
Right.
She has the power, and not in my mind, she has the power. So when she got blown out, I thought that's not how she dies. I'm like, I wonder how. I was thinking Kylo's going to grab her somehow because he was so attached at that moment.
Yeah, because he didn't shoot.
He didn't shoot, and then when she comes back, I thought, this is the Force, like. With Yoda pulling up a speeder, or Vader talking to Luke in his head from 2 ships away. I've heard people complaining that the 2 of them talking was ridiculous. I'm like, dude, it's the Force. Like, anything can happen.
Exactly.
Like, the fact that she can pull herself to the thing, it's like, she's Leia. She's his fucking kid.
Yeah.
She's Darth Vader's kid. She can do it. This is another little element of the Force that we haven't seen yet. It's possible.
We saw a lot of elements of the Force that we have never seen.
Well, and she just hasn't learned the ways of the Force. Even so, she has the Force. She hasn't learned the ways of the Force. Just like, what's her face? What's her name? Rey?
Rey.
Rey has not learned all the ways of the Force. But she used some of the Force.
We don't even know how the fuck she is able to wield a lightsaber.
This is true.
That really bothered me in
7.
In Force Awakens, because there was lots of things that bothered me in that movie, but I cried in that movie. It was so fucking awesome.
Right.
Kylo Ren is this massive, massive badass that obviously disposed of Luke somehow, and then he goes to fight her at the end, and she can kind of keep up with him. She's having some recall. She's having some Arnold Schwarzenegger total recall. Where all of a sudden, she's not a full warrior, but she gave him a pretty decent whipping right there, which didn't make sense. But
where does she learn that?
Well, we're kind of going to look Last Jedi here. Something's up with Rey. I don't buy the whole you're from junk.
And your parents are boozers and they sold you. I don't
buy
that.
I don't buy that either.
I think that's a ruse.
Ryan Johnson said we wanted to make her a nobody.
Yeah,
that's part of the story. So that kind of bums some people out because they want it to be
a Kenobi or something.
Something. I've read about Palpatine lineage, because there's obviously dark side.
Right.
Is it a Palpatine thing? Is it where's it coming from? What is it? I was way more open, I think, for the film because some of our close friends are not vibing. Like some are love it, and then some have said I hated it.
I didn't hate it.
I've seen
some people are really distraught over it. They're like, second time I liked it way more, but I was like, I personally. Yeah, why should you go to a casino planet in this movie? That was the only Naboo moment for me.
Yeah, it was
wasn't fine, but you know what? It happened real quick and it was over, and those beasts were pretty majestic. It was really interesting.
Yeah, and was that the same planet that kid was on with at the very end?
No, so Force sensitive.
Yeah, he's on that.
Is he the young new Skywalker? Maybe.
I think it's just leading. I think it's just them segueing into there are these Force-sensitive children that someone, I'm pointing at Rey now, may in the next film or even the future trilogy,
it would be cool.
take them into tutelage and all that. And
yeah, I didn't mind her witch moment though. I thought it was. I agree. It was a tiny bit awkward.
That was. I didn't mind it overall, and it does make sense. But that was what burst my bubble from the gate, and even the lightsaber throw as we're watching the end of 7 here. as he threw this lightsaber, I was like, okay, he's fucking Luke Skywalker. He's clearly over it, and that's what you would do. You'd be like, fuck this thing. Fuck you. You know.
They went for some different pace with it, and they really went far with the holding for Hux, and he goes, "The rebellion is finished," and your princess, and he goes, "Still holding."
Oh yeah, that was. I thought that was funny.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Right. I was good with it twice, but the third time I was like, "Oh, here they go again!" Like with extra jokes, like trying to bring it into today's world.
To me, that was a callback to just a weapons malfunction here. No, we're all good here. All fine, all clear.
Yes, I agree with that.
I laughed. It was totally funny. I just felt like just tailor that back like 5%, because he's always doing that, breaking up the jokes in some way. But.
Well, they didn't. Well, I mean, that was kind of Han's bit.
Yeah.
And they don't have Han anymore, so
I
they got
the strong. Sorry to cut you off. I think the strongest character, or for me, that I'm curious about is Poe. I think because he's like as close to a Solo.
Yeah, he's the cowboy.
Yeah, he's the cowboy.
What were you going to say, Matt? Yeah, like he's right on.
Hit me.
Well, I mean, there are a couple things. First of all, you don't recall ever hearing it, but there was in every one of the films, there's a line, "I have a bad feeling about this." And you don't hear it, but evidently it's in there at the very beginning.
I think I remember hearing it.
Hearing that?
I think I remember. I can't remember exactly where.
But hearing it at the very beginning.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think it's in there.
It's in there.
It's so quick, you miss it.
It's a chick says it. It's fuck. I don't.
The intro starts with the bombing. They're doing they're trying to get the bomb run, and they come at the Star Destroyers come out at light speed.
Was it Rosa's sister that said it? I doubt it, but
I don't remember.
Was it in that
exactly.
sequence?
It is quick though. They don't
says it.
Yeah, they don't focus on it real strong.
Which is kind of disappointing to me because I've always to keep that one little thing.
But it's always been somebody different saying it in every movie. It was Leia in Empire. It was
Solo said it a few times.
Solo said it the very first time.
Yeah.
No, actually, was it Luke that said it in the first movie?
They said it a couple times.
Oh, okay,
yeah, it is a couple times.
Yeah,
I know someone says it.
Luke says it.
Trash factor.
Yeah, I've got a bad feeling about this.
That was Han. Luke was on the.
They're coming up on the moon with the Death Star.
Yeah,
I think
that was
my bad feeling. Let's turn the ship around, that kind of thing. But
I mean, a lot of what Ace said, I echo a lot of what he says. That the expectations of it, and then didn't have a lot of those oh my god moments that I thought it led up to, and then I never really understood. Maybe you could explain to me why was Luke so pissed off at the Force? Why was he so pissed off about being a Jedi? Why did he hold so much resentment to not coming back?
I think because of what happened with Ben.
His failure.
But is it that? Was it to me? It didn't seem like that big of a.
I think there was some sort of hypocrisy with it. With like he was saying, they had everything, and then they let the Emperor come up and sort of take it all away. There was that play in the movie with the Benicio character where he was like the good and the bad. Hey man, just live free. And so there was a little bit of this guy sold. He sold.
And I thought Benicio was going to come back and sort of save the day, kind of like what Solo did.
It would have been cool. Yeah,
but
that was a waste.
It was kind of a waste of part.
Yeah. For me, this is like my sort of Star Wars. I always think there's a Star Wars panel that I wish I was at. But I can fucking help.
This is it.
Well, this is it, Dave.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is it.
The Star Wars panel side of me in that movie when they went to the Naboo scene at this casino, I thought, this has got to be where they meet. He's got to be the guy. Yeah. He's got to be the code breaker. And I thought to myself, why can't it just be some sleazy fucking cantina?
See, that's what. Yeah, is this their version of the cantina?
That they meet this guy, and it's some sleazy like Java, Tatooine, Mos Eisley type of place where Watto was at, or just something that's shitty. Actually, one of the best things about Rogue One was that bazaar that's underneath the Star Destroyer in Rogue One. that whole movie was done to perfection. If Force Awakens looked like Rogue One, we could be talking.
See, I love it. Everybody dies in Rogue One.
Yeah, I like
so
that. It's dark.
Rogue
It's like an adult, dark war.
It's a Magnificent Seven type of movie. I mean, it's definitely a retooling of that concept. But I wish that they would have just gone to a regular cantina that's sleazy and meet him. But I'm sure there's some bean counter in the Star Wars, in some panel that's like, well, we've already done that. Let's do a casino where it's like rich, because there was also this animal rights thing, good versus bad. Like she's like, I just want to go through this, and this is wrong, and he, they sell to that side and to that side, trying to be some sort of
political undertone.
Definitely some social and political things, and that was kind of annoying. I also thought the Poe Laura Dern thing was a little annoying. That wasn't those were the two biggest flaws in the movie.
And I thought Snoke was going to play more of an important role. I thought he was going to be more of a, he wasn't going to die, definitely, during this.
I liked that was a big, cool surprise for me.
Yeah, same here.
Here's Kylo, and he just takes him out like Palpatine took out Darth
wait. Here's the question, though. Was it Kylo or was it Rey?
That kind of leaves some mystery there.
No, I think it was Kylo.
I think it was Kylo, too. But
I think that's the play on when Palpatine's talking to Anakin in 3, and he's like, how did you talk about the Force? He's like, oh, Darth Plagueis, he was so, he was so powerful. He let his apprentice kill him. It's like, I think they
But the music during that was the same music that was played during when Snoke first came in.
Right.
Yes.
So you kind of had that sort of theme that it might.
It was definitely like shocking that he's gone. What was his point? I would also Snoke, just in general. I would have just preferred. Andy Serkis. He's amazing. Awesome. Mm-hmm. I would just have preferred that to just be a regular acting character with like really great makeup.
I agree.
It was a little distracting, but it's just kind of too far. And I kind of felt that in Dark Knight with Two-Face. I thought you could have just done like 50% less makeup of seeing his jaw and the teeth. I just want something that just looks better for the movie. Like Snoke just didn't look that. That was just my opinion. I just didn't think he looked that great.
One complaint I saw was you didn't get the Snoke story.
I was disappointed to not get a Snoke story.
It would have been nice.
I'm okay with him dying.
It would have been a nice.
I liked his death, but I want a fucking backstory.
Maybe it's coming in 9. We don't.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing is we're forgetting. Is like, there's
if
another movie coming out.
Well, not only is there another movie, but they also it's not obligatory, but there's all these supplemental material now with whether it's Rebels or comic books or now what is it? There's some video game,
Star Wars
video game that has some other backlying story that, although you can only watch the movies and still get the whole story arc, there are apparently other massive pieces of the puzzle missing without watching the other things.
Right.
So I guess that's okay. I accept that.
He might not be gone though. I mean,
it's
possible.
He could come back, or
because in the canon Star Wars world, Darth Maul's not dead.
Yeah, he gets robot legs.
Yeah, I mean, so anything's possible.
Wow.
I don't know that Snoke is gone for sure. Just like I'm not sure if Phasma's gone.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to into. Phasma. I mean, that character has been set up.
Yeah.
To have more than just 2 episodes in there.
I wouldn't mind if she was gone.
Because you don't really see her die.
It's kind of like Walking Dead. You can't have everybody around forever. Just like kill some people off and make it triumphant. Like, holy shit, she's gone. Like, but I think they showed her eye. That may have been like that may be the end for.
I'm just bummed that more than likely Episode 9, even to conclude this trilogy, will more or less not include any of the 3 original cast members.
No, Luke will be in there.
What is it, Force Ghost?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah,
I think that's 100%. I don't think you have to worry about like even a 0.1%. He is for sure Force Ghost material.
I hope so, but
especially
I just feel like
Carrie dying.
With Carrie dying,
what I read was that
Han Solo.
Carrie was. This was a good piece of acting for her, and definitely she wasn't in Force Awakens much. A lot more in this, but the 9th installment was supposed to be her big thing. Really featured. That's what I read. So
are they going to do CGI with her then, or
no?
what?
I heard they're not doing that at all.
I don't know how they're going to.
I don't know what.
Hopefully
they filmed.
You have to admit though.
Well, I think
some of those bandage sequences, or her laying in the healing tank, and all the things. I mean, that was all just really touching and creepy. It was very.
Oh yeah, and she.
Oh, yeah.
And did you notice how much she looked like young Carrie Fisher in those scenes?
Amazing. I couldn't believe that. I thought, how is this possible? Like, it's just too coincidental that she's been almost fatally wounded, and then she comes back and with the bandage. I just thought this is. I think it adds like a little extra texture to the movie that nobody could have anticipated, of course, because she was gone.
Yeah.
But Luke, I think, just even from an acting perspective, they'll have to have him as a Force Ghost. Just because.
Yeah, they have to.
And what about Yoda? Yoda was. Amazing.
I thought that was cool that they had
Yeah.
Yoda in it. I didn't. I was like, really? Now he's gonna. That was another one of those things that kind of like irked me a little bit. Where I was like, he's gonna set all the ancient texts on fire, isn't that like literally the antithesis of like his?
But Rey took him.
She did, right?
Yeah, Rey took
she had him in a
Did she?
bag later on.
Rey took the books and she put them away in the Falcon. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see.
There's so many little things. Like the second time you see, like, oh my god, one of the best things about the movie that I didn't see the first time that we were trying to figure out, like, moment one. I was like, why was Kylo moving the salt, and then Luke was moving the size of Kung? Is it like a warrior thing? And the second time, you notice that Kylo moves his foot, he moves the salt. Luke does it, and there's no salt, and you realize because he's not actually there. He's not there.
Yeah,
he can't move the salt.
See, I thought that was a brilliant fucking scene. I thought that was amazing.
There's so much going on there, dude. Like, how does he have his lightsaber if it broke in half?
Yeah.
With Kylo and there's so many things. How did he get into that big enclosure?
The thing.
Yeah, there were so many things, but your brain is saying, "Oh, Luke had the X-wing. He'll make it there."
Yeah, because they show that under.
Yeah, he's there. They're just.
But did you notice? Did you notice his beard was shaven?
Yes,
and it was darker.
He looked like the younger.
He looked younger.
That was another thing that your brain says, "Oh, he must have shaved. He must have cut his hair."
He cut his hair.
But he's just because it is show business. So we're like,
he's
gonna get in there. But it's his it's his projected self-image.
Yes.
But you don't know that at the time until the second time.
And it's how Kylo remembers him.
It's sick. It's that part of the movie.
Because you remember that because
that's right.
Yeah.
In those scenes where he's got the lightsaber over Kylo.
Yeah.
That's what he looks like.
It's his real robe and the whole thing.
Yeah.
How he was. So he wanted to make sure to be real, which actually, if Kylo had been more wise, he would have recognized immediately that.
Yeah, that's why I felt like I was like, why doesn't he know that?
It's so intense. That sequence. There's three scenes in the movie that to me rank up in the highest in the entire series. One is when he kills Snoke with the little finger thing, and then they slow-mo and turn around in the red. I was like goosebumps, and that was an oh shit moment to me. I just couldn't believe it. My breath was taken away. Like, holy shit! And I'm thinking, are they going to fight together? Are they actually going to go on the same side?
I thought he was going to turn. I thought Kylo Ren was going to be like, fuck it, I'm going to be a good guy.
But he
right.
Second was the Laura Dern doing the light speed through.
Yeah, that was badass.
Was pretty badass. That was awesome.
That was
because I thought she was going to stick around as a character.
Epic silence.
Yeah.
White. And that was cinema magic, amazing. And then the other one was you're sitting there when he goes with the lightsaber through his body with Luke. I was like, what the? He's like, what's he got? He's powerful, man.
Yeah.
He's doing some apparition. What's he doing? But then Kylo turns around, and as soon as Kylo had that look and went forward, I put my hands on my head like, oh my god, and then they cut to the scene of him floating. I fucking lost it. I was like, these are like
my
top
favorite
Star Wars moments.
My favorite thing about that whole scene is like when they just bombard him and he walks away and just kind of
I think that was part of it, was to make sure you think that he's there.
Yeah,
you have to wipe the dust off.
I thought that was a Jay-Z moment.
That was him to say like, yeah, man, I'm here, because I was sitting there with man. I looked over and I go,
there's no way.
How could he? Man, this is the thing. He's a Jedi, man. He's one of the last. He's got some.
Seal.
Yeah, he probably created some force shield or something.
Yeah,
and it is what it is.
Right,
it's phenomenal, But you realize that's the brilliance of that maneuver and the storytelling. I thought was just holy shit.
Do you think, because of what I think is the whole premise of this movie is fuck the past, out with the past and with the new, is the Jedi gone and is the Sith is the Sith gone?
No, well, Rey is obviously she's the next
Jedi.
She's the next kind of thing.
But is she going to be a Jedi?
Yes,
Jedi?
Luke's gonna train her in the next movie.
There's still those books.
She's got the text.
She's got the text. Luke,
Okay.
I think Luke will train her.
She's clearly force sensitive.
Kylo is like completely in Vader mode.
And Kylo, but that's I've started to step on.
But he's not a Sith.
But he's not. He's what is it? A Knight of Ren? Have they talked about that at all?
No, they
No.
I would have
explain that for us, not as big dorks as you.
Wow. Well, it's basically. I don't even know if I know how to explain it. I don't think I know enough. But it's basically he's somewhere between the
Jedi.
I mean, he had,
and
yes,
Sith.
Sith.
And then after he left Luke, he went off and started the
dark side training.
The dark side training, which was because he took other people with him.
Yep.
And that was the Knights of Ren.
Knights of Ren. That's who you see in those flashback sequences in 7, and who you see in 8 when he's got the students. He's like, well, he killed some of the students, but he didn't kill all of them because he took the other ones with him. It was like his posse.
I'm a little more open to be like it's. Yeah, I mean I guess they're going to start telling that in 9. Who knows where that's going?
Where I'm going with this is that hypothetically, Kylo Ren could turn to the light side and then be a Jedi teacher.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Because you see the conflict in him in both movies.
Oh, of course. You know, and that was almost what I wanted in this film. Was I wanted his redemption. I was like, okay, if you're gonna kill fucking Han Solo, you better fucking come back and make this shit right. I want it right.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think they did that with him not being
killing.
able to kill Leia.
Yeah. That was just more of a struggle. I want a redemption story. I want him to come back and go, I fucked up, fuck the Sith, fuck the dark side.
Well,
now, you know,
who's the antagonist now, though? We don't really know.
Hux, maybe?
No,
he
turned into more like comedy relief in this, thankfully, because I thought he was way too heavy-handed in Force Awakens. I didn't buy any of that, like Harry Potter. There was just something really disgenuine about his, like, the First Order, that whole thing. I was like, this doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel anything Empire-ish, even though the sequence of the layout of it was beautiful.
Right.
But I wasn't buying. I thought he was really funny and had a nice balance in this movie. But
I agree.
Now that she's on screen, another flaw from the movie I thought was Maz in that video cam, like the FaceTime.
I was not on.
I'm like, what the fuck is this?
I was not down with the FaceTime thing.
The FaceTime.
My son pointed out. He said, "Dad, that was so lame." He's like, if Poe would have said to Maz, like, listen, the resistance is on the edge here. We're going to lose it all. We need to get this code breaker. She would have come. He said she would have come. I said, you're right.
I think they was
so we don't know what she was doing, but
she was up to something. But I felt like it was almost like a waste. Like they were like, well, we have to, for continuity's sake, we have to bring her in. But
right,
like we're going to just Skype her in for 30 seconds.
Yeah,
she should have gotten a little more on-screen time. So I felt like she was a pretty main character.
She was cool. Yeah,
Force Awakens.
Definitely believable. What do you think, Matt?
I agree.
How do you say her name? Lupita. I'm sorry, I'm being serious. The actress, yeah, she's amazing. And I really like the character.
Did a good job.
Yeah, that's great.
We don't know how she got Luke's lightsaber.
What the fuck? Where are these stories? I want to know. Inquiring minds.
There's all kinds of stuff, and where Rey is coming from, nobody knows.
Here's this is a thread that I was on before, and here just a little bit of it says Rey's story picks up immediately after 7, but the Resistance story does not. After they win the battle at Starkiller Base, how did they end up in shambles? Rey seems to go through days and weeks on Octu with Luke, but the Resistance had only 18 hours of fuel.
It's not in real. I don't think that's in real time.
Yeah,
the way that story. I think what they were showing you was some other way that they were fighting. Some other battle sequence they were trying to evade the
yeah, I agree.
Kylo and all that. Whatever was happening there, but I think what they did for continuity was they went right to the handing the lightsaber over to Luke.
Right.
Time I think in real time it was probably a couple days or something, but it was relatively.
Who knows?
Yeah, it did seem like she was there short. It didn't seem like she was there a long time.
There was some shit kind of like with Rogue One and Star Wars, A New Hope, where Vader's like, the ship's pulling away, the blockade runners pulling away. we were trying to get that timeline exactly correct.
Right.
And it doesn't totally line up, but...
Now, how many years before the Battle of Yavin exactly are we talking about? Is it space months or...
Danny from Pussycat and I always, and Chad.
Yeah.
We'll be like, the go-to joke is like, that's like saying Wookiees from the Dagobah system.
Exactly.
Is Danny a Star Wars geek?
Danny really likes Star Wars, but he is no Chad Stewart.
Right.
Chad is.
I wish Chad was here.
I wish Chad was here too. He's cooking a ham somewhere or something. But I'm actually more happy to have Matt here because the other day, remember I said, I was like, how come you don't have Matt on the show?
It's like it just never worked out, and now even though he's here.
I mean, I don't want to suck his dick while he's right next to me, but like Matt's been in the music industry for what, 25, 30 years?
Close to that. I'm an old fart.
A long time. I mean, you're kind of a legend in your own right. I don't want to tell you this to your face because I hate you, but these are jokes. But you should get him in the mix for more when we're actually doing music. There you go.
Kiss
like,
on table.
I mean, your Interscope history, I don't want to get into it because we're doing Star Wars shit, but your Interscope history alone has got to be worth at least a podcast.
When we are at Interscope?
Wow. I was at Interscope from 95 to 2004.
Did you work with Nigel Harrison? Or if you there when you were there?
Nigel Harrison. Yeah, yes. Well, no, because there was a time I covered the entire Midwest. So I was in Chicago until 2001, and Nigel was already gone. He was in New York.
Got it.
There was one band he was looking at out of the Midwest that I spoke to him about. But, yeah, he was already gone by the time I went to LA.
He was trying to sign Big Elf back in the day.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Nobody got it.
Nigel was in Blondie.
Yeah.
No shit. Has anyone noticed my shirt, by the way? My metal
I have not. That is amazing.
It's
cool.
It's the droids.
It's the droids.
C-3PO's throwing the horns, and they're getting struck by lightning, and it says metalheads. I saw this online like 5 years ago, and I was like, I have to have that shirt.
I would have liked in the new movie, I read something online, somebody said more Chewie, more Chewbacca.
More Chewie.
Just more cool droid stuff.
Yep.
And just less like, shooting in space, as amazing as some of that was. I mean, those
space battles
salt
were,
mine, those salt caverns with the Falcon.
Oh, that was sick.
Yeah, they nailed the look. I mean, the look is just, cinematography was off the charts. What about those little those little speeders that were going across?
Oh yeah, the Junker ones. Yeah.
Leaving the red line.
Yeah, it was so cool. I mean, that was probably the best sequence in the movie, visually speaking.
I actually did not mind when I saw the Porgs and I saw the CGI Chewie on the trailer.
Yeah,
I got really worried, and I thought to myself, I really have to not connect like you're connecting to the reviews and stuff. I got to just let this go.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too tripped out because CGI. Part of Chewie was CGI, and part of them wasn't.
Yeah,
but the Porgs, it totally worked to me.
Yeah, it wasn't cartoonish. It wasn't over the top. It wasn't like, hey, this is the new Jar Jar. It was just they were there.
They were just there.
They were funny and they were tasteful.
They were funny.
They were on screen.
Like when they were chewing on shit in the Falcon, I thought that was hilarious.
So it was cute.
And I like
and they were cute.
Yeah, it is.
If you have new shit to sell, you gotta have new shit to sell in everyone.
He created that.
Yeah,
he created this is shit to sell.
Yeah,
you get the pre-pack when you order the.
Yeah, he's the reason why you get toys and stuff from movies.
Just to get people excited about buying the toys, you could order that pre-pack. Remember?
Yes, all you got was the box.
The box,
nothing in it.
So he invented that, and
the empty box.
I can give them the Porgs. The Porgs.
Yeah, I had no problem.
And that's not going to go away. Too. There's always going to be
something
that have new shit to sell.
Yeah,
I thought all that was tasteful. If you just take away the casino, maybe a little less dialogue with Laura Dern and Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
That was just real forced to me. Like I was trying to figure out where is this going, and then it is kind of controversial, that Leia Witch sequence.
Yeah,
there could have been something else. There could have been a cooler way to do that, but you never know why people end up on.
I thought it was cheesy, but I thought it was cool at the same time.
Yeah,
it
was kind of.
I would say it was just it was cool. I just thought it was a little awkward. I don't know if she portrayed it. She just reaches out and tries to do it. It just
I think it would have been cooler. I'm trying to think how to word this right. I think it would have been less eye roll for me personally had she either done that and well, like okay, the what do you call it, like the bridge gets blows up, and I think had she like held on or like something like that, but when I don't give a fuck what creature you are, you get sucked out in the vacuum of space, you're gone.
Dead. Yeah,
you're gone. I mean, if we're gonna go with,
I think she was
some sort of.
I think she was slightly gone. I think that was.
Well, of course, that was why they showed her all fucked up and medical.
What about another kind of downer for me?
What the Finn and him being such a player? Well, what's that? It's like, well, Finn was. He was with Ray. Now he's with Ray, and now what's the girl's name?
I thought his
don't hate the player, hate the game, bro.
Rose,
right?
He was with Rose.
Rose Tico,
Rose. I thought his sequence of like his journey in the movie wasn't great.
Well, the character got weaker.
I don't think they know what to. I don't think they know what to do with him.
Yeah,
he was very awkward for me in Force Awakens, and then after like third or fourth time, I started to like, you got me, Phasma. Like I started to get into his humor, and then I didn't feel so uncomfortable about it. But initially, it just didn't have the right pace for me.
I like the character. I like the idea. I just don't like the acting. I just don't think he's a great actor.
I think John Boyega's a solid actor.
I thought he did.
I thought he was better. Not better. I think the script maybe for his character in Force Awakens was better for him.
Definitely. Oh yeah, this is a
new
weak.
one.
His journey was weak.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have just done like I said, go to meet Benicio and have it be a kick-ass shitty cantina.
And they ruined. I thought the Benicio character could have. What do we even know what his character's name is? Benicio del Toro.
I didn't get the name.
DJ.
DJ.
Yeah, definitely cool.
DJ Ashba? Jake's, you owe me a shot.
Didn't
pour yourself one,
I say. I thought another kind of, not a plot hole, but something that I felt you were saying like a holy shit moment, or you wanted more from the Snoke thing.
Yeah.
The Snoke thing definitely didn't resonate for me. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like that he was really, it turned out to be nothing. Wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
I was really looking at that kelp hole.
Yeah, what was up with that?
Well, that was
Was that like a callback to the Yoda, Dagobah with the
whole
tree?
movie is a callback to Empire and Return of the Jedi.
Right.
When Palpatine, when the Emperor takes Luke and says, "Your fleet is lost. Your friends, they will not survive." All that stuff is the same thing. Like Snoke taking Rey and saying, "Right now we've got your, we're annihilating your fleet right now." Same shit.
Yeah.
So the Dagobah cave. Your weapons, you will not need them, all that shit. It's the same as this hole. Like, you went right to the dark side. So when the hole happened, I thought, okay, obviously this is going to be her moment. And her snapping and the thing, and she finds out it's just nobody, it's just her anyways. That was a little bit not triumphant for me. I was like, that's why Empire is so great.
But you know what? But you know what I loved about that?
To fight Vader, and it's actually
himself.
Yeah. But what I loved about that scene was she realized this is not where I belong. This is not what I'm looking for.
Well, and on
I did not like it. I was just saying I was kind of looking for like more out of the cave.
No, I get it.
Before I lose my train of thought, because I will. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're doing that a lot.
Because there's a lot of tangents here. Talking about is that Empire or Jedi where Luke fights Vader and in the on Dagobah, and it's himself.
Right. Empire.
In Empire, thank you. And in the current movie, when there's that part where they show before like both sides of the story where he's going to kill Ben, I was like, oh, he is the bad guy.
Right.
This whole time, Luke has been working his way towards coming to the dark side. You know what I mean? Because now he's going to kill Ben, and maybe Ben or whatever, Kylo Ren, maybe he's the good guy, and he's just fighting with the good and bad, and maybe they're going to flip, and Luke would end up being the villain. And then Kylo would come around and be the redemption, and blah, blah, blah.
I think they did that from Kylo's perspective of him telling the story. So
yes.
It was like, what he saw in Luke's eyes was this craziness thing.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when Luke tells the story, he said, I had this moment where I thought I could end it, and then I had to deal with my shame, and then, of course, it's too late because he sees the lightsaber.
Well, is in like the books that came out years ago that were supposed to be after Jedi, did Luke turn?
I think so. But and then we could go on that whole tangent, but it's all considered legends now. So
right.
Canon.
It's no longer canon. But by the way, the expanded universe, even prequels, let's go mid '90s, was all really impressive. Yeah. I mean, like the Thrawn novels and all that stuff, and it was a Shadow of the Empire. It's been 20 years since I've read any of it, or paid any attention to it. Even the Dark Horse comic series, you remember any of that?
Oh yeah,
that stuff was great because it was really mature. But anyways, that's a whole other episode.
I was trying to look at the new movies as obviously Daisy Ridley is. She's just magical.
She's amazing. I really like to bone her.
She's got a great.
There it is.
On principle.
Just put it out there.
She's got a great career.
Daisy Ridley, if you're listening, Daisy Presley's available.
Put into the universe, in the Star Wars universe. I was trying to think back to the prequels when they were introducing new characters. And because I was pretty excited about Darth Maul when that character came,
I thought it was overdone. I thought the makeup was overdone.
Yeah. I liked it. I liked him.
I liked him. It was insanely good.
Yeah. I thought he was like fucking damn, what the fucking metal singer, King Diamond. Thank you.
What was the? Doesn't he look like
for me?
He looked like the bad guy in one of those horror franchises.
I thought it was good, but I mean, Qui-Gon was that was a really interesting character.
Yeah, I like Qui-Gon.
Jango Fett was really interesting as far as getting this new. You have to have a brand new character. So I was trying to think about how excited Count Dooku. That was fucking crazy.
I
agree.
Dooku.
I love Count.
And here's why. I'm going to try to make this short. I am a huge horror movie nerd. And so Peter Cushing in the original, and when they approached Christopher Lee, I heard he goes, well, my bro, because him and Christopher Lee were like this.
And Vincent Price.
And Vincent Price. Oh my, I have a Vincent Price tattoo.
And David Carradine.
David Carradine. I mean, we could keep going. Peter Lorre.
I know.
Et cetera, et cetera. We're wrong podcast. But when they presented it to Christopher Lee, he was like, well, Peter Cushing did. I have to.
That was a
his
genius
character
move
was
by
great.
George Lucas
Yes.
to do that. And it really
and for
worked.
nerds like us, that was like, what
I was
better
trying
character
to think
or
of the
actor.
new movie. Like, am I that excited about Benicio del Toro?
Nerds like us, by the way, will be playing at the Burgundy Room this Saturday night. I said nerds like
Whitaker,
us.
We're excited that Forrest Whitaker was in. I wasn't that excited. Daisy Ridley's a newcomer, so she's doing great and really exciting. And Oscar Isaac is still it's interesting and it's growing. So we're finding out where he's going, but I don't recall so far in the new movies. Like Maz was like, it's interesting, but not like
Where's my boyfriend?
Liam Neeson, Qui-Gon Jinn. That was all time.
Well, we did have a question from Laurie from Australia. Who wants to know who's your guys' favorite new characters?
New character from the newer
from the last two movies.
Definitely Ray for me.
Ray. I do really like Maz. I really like that character for a supplemental sort of side.
Yeah,
character. Ray.
I think Ray and Ray and Kylo are just they're pretty classic.
I like
Hux.
I like Hux.
You like
Hux?
Yeah.
I think Hux pretty badass.
I tell you what, I like Kylo a lot better in this movie than I did in the first movie.
Yeah, I do too. I like the Hux Kylo rivalry.
Yeah.
The rub they have with
Well, Hux, I mean,
we can all relate to that. Working with someone where you're like, fuck this guy.
He pulled a Hulk move on him with like Loki and at the end when he just threw him to the thing.
Yeah, that was great. Well, I got sick with my ginger brethren anyways, so
Hux.
Yeah.
You could be Hux.
I could be Hux.
I think everybody wanted Phasma to be like this new Boba Fett thing, like this.
Yeah, it was pitched
and
that way.
It just hasn't really gone anywhere. I think that's probably disappointed a lot of fans. I was kind of disappointed because I just didn't think it hasn't really expanded into anything. It's sort of the purpose of her in the movies to be Finn's
anti-hero.
It's
rival.
Right. Yeah.
That's what people are interested in is the F182. She recalls him being a traitor or whatever, but it hasn't really gone anywhere.
FN2187.
It's an amazing character.
Wow.
Well, and they've implied that she's died twice now.
That's what I was just about to say. Is I feel like they have to have killed her because they threw her in the trash compactor in the last movie.
She's got to be on Game of Thrones.
And she was on the fucking thing when it blew up.
Yeah,
Game of Thrones. She's busy.
Yeah,
she's got stuff to do.
Well, that's wrapping soon too.
I can't even think about it.
I don't even want to get into
I
that.
don't want to think about it.
But I was, what? But here's the reality of it: characters have to die.
They do.
Nobody can be the Luke Skywalker and make all the or whatever. If you make it through 2 movies,
okay. But what'll be interesting? With that being said, what'll be interesting? Will R2D2, C3PO, Chewbacca, will they survive?
I think they can continue to milk those characters because they're not actors.
Right.
Do you know what I'm
They're
saying?
not human.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, Chewie has to die eventually.
I think Chewie has to die.
Never!
I think Chewie has to die eventually.
I think
I don't want to.
Chewie dies in the next movie. That's a call.
And let me say this.
That's a call.
Disney has too much invested. They're making too much money. Good news about old timers like us, old Star Wars fans. We have the Star Wars universe. So we have all these other. So the Star Wars proper can move on, but yet we'll always have the Star Wars universe. We just had Rogue One. We had the Han Solo coming out. I think there's a Boba Fett coming out. Like all these other things that sort of harken back to the original 3 that guys like us will always be able to go back to, and it'll keep us engaged into the new ones coming out.
And Ace, I think we were talking about this the other night about how the 10, 11, and 12, there's not going to be any of the original characters in it.
I don't think it's possible.
But
you could probably include, what we were just saying is you could have 3PO and R2, or maybe even Chewie. We don't know how long. Do we know a Wookiee's life cycle? He could live to be 500.
It's pretty long.
But every other year, they can come out with these movies like Rogue One, like the Han Solo movie, like the Boba Fett movie, and stuff like that.
That's the game plan. I mean, look, there is, like Kathleen Kennedy said, she's like, there's no end to this. We're gonna. I mean,
they're gonna milk it.
They're gonna milk it and
just do it good.
And just don't fuck it up. You know what I mean?
Don't fuck it up.
I mean, so far, Force Awakens, Last Jedi, they're both solid 8s.
I love them. I fucking love them. I love them.
I give Last Jedi just the edge because I just feel I was really bummed about Han dying, but I really felt like I didn't like a lot of his lines and his character because he's not a Star Wars fan, Harrison Ford.
Right.
So he wasn't
for the paycheck.
Yeah, he wasn't connected to it, but Mark Hamill is connected to it. And he put in the performance of his career in this movie.
Absolutely. And Mark Hamill is awesome.
It was phenomenal. Like, I was so into Luke in this movie. Anytime he was on the screen, I was just...
But I tell you, the thing I loved about Han Solo in The Force Awakens was that he was so removed from the rebellion.
He had some really cool moments, but some really bad ones.
There were a couple bad ones.
Yeah, him talking to the Conjure Club and his moments.
See, I took that as comedy, and I thought that was funny. It's like,
it was more like Jedi comedy. It wasn't a great Han Solo from the.
But that's still Han Solo.
But those are the elements for me that were bad about Return of the Jedi.
All right.
When he's not. There's something about his acting that's out of place. When he waxes on and he gets real with Rey and Finn. It's amazing when he says, "Luke, it was all real." That's amazing. Yeah. When he talks to Rey and goes, "Too bad Chewie kind of likes you." We were thinking, "I wouldn't be nice to you."
Yeah.
All that's real charming.
I loved it.
All that's he's like, "Oh, you're cold," and she was like, "Oh, you're cold." All those things are funny, but there's a couple things like him shooting the blaster sideways and then backwards. There's a little hokiness in there that's like, this is just too far for me.
Well, it is Star Wars.
But I do feel like there's a general hokiness to the entire franchise.
Exactly.
The only movie that had minimal hokiness was Rogue One, in my opinion.
Which
is what I actually liked about it.
I've only seen Rogue One once.
Really?
Wow.
That's how much I
disliked it.
Well,
I'm gonna
watch it again.
I suggest a second viewing.
I'm gonna see it again, and
you and Marty O'Brien are my 2 Star Wars guys, and you've only seen it once. I find that
I was so upset that I'm really excited to see Solo. If there's a Yoda or Kenobi spin-off movie, those could be non-Skywalker related movies.
Yes.
But I know that from what I read about it, I know that they specifically made Rogue One as a standalone.
Yes.
But it isn't a standalone because it's about the Death Star and it's about the Skywalker because
Vader's in it. So, and I thought that was, by the way,
it's a 3.5.
Total 3.5.
Just make it
Cushing in it, the digital.
Dude,
I thought that was cool though.
It's a Skywalker film. Why make Han Solo cool if he happens to cross a path of an Imperial smuggle thing, Imperial, like they board him or something, like old school Han and Lando and all that shit.
Right.
Danny Glover.
Yeah. I think he'll be a great Lando.
What's his son's name? Danny Glover's son is going to be Lando.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but
it's not the dude from fucking
something Glover.
It's not the dude from fucking Living Color.
No, it's
No.
no.
Oh no, that's not
No,
Danny
it's
Glover.
the-
That's
it's the guy from.
Crispin Glover.
Well, is it? Well, Danny Glover's son.
Danny Glover's son. I can't remember his
Danny
name.
Glover's son is the
He's
fucking
Lando,
singer
but
for
I would
fucking
totally be
Living
down with
Color.
a little crossover.
Really?
Yeah, he's Lando. He was the genius programmer in the Matt Damon movie to Mars.
Matt Damon. Hey Matt. Hey Damon.
Hey dude. Anyways,
wait. What? I know that
my brain is really. That
I'm fried, and these shots are really ruining this whole thing. For me. And I smoked a bunch of weed before I left the house too.
What's my excuse? I was gonna say if Solo crossed paths with some early Darth Vader stuff, all that's good because it's not a Skywalker.
It's not supposed to go into the trilogy
related. Yeah, it's not. That's totally
Right.
cool. But that was one of the things about Rogue One that I thought was just in its DNA that just rubbed me wrong. Probably like with you reading I just got off to the wrong start with that movie. I just never got on path with it, and I was hoping Vader was going to like bring it in.
Yeah.
Because all those AT-ATs on the beach with those beach troopers. It was just I thought this is just brilliant. And there was a little bit of Force in there. I'm the one with the Force, one with the Force with me, and all that. I thought this is really working, and I just, like you said, there was just no. That's what's fascinating and kind of. You're not having those holy shit moments, and I'm not having.
Let me guess. The first half for you was very slow, and then once it started picking up, you got into it.
I never got into it. I got
At
into
all.
it when Vader got on the blockade runner. I shit my pants. That's one of the.
You didn't
greatest.
think Vader's like home was like fuck yeah moment? Like it was like hell.
Yeah.
And was his home? Was that the same place where he got burned up at? Was that the same planet? Do we know that?
No, I don't think it was Mustafar. Mustafar is when he got. That's where they.
It looked like the same planet.
Yeah,
I
only saw it once. So
I thought the villain. I can't remember the character's name, but that's sort of like
he was the guy in the Dark
white.
Knight. Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, I thought he was great.
He was great. No, the acting was cool. Like the setup was cool. I just they tried so hard to make it not Star Wars ish, but Star Wars at the same time.
What did they call it? They were like, it's like Saving
Wars
Private
story.
Ryan in Star Wars or
Yeah.
whatever. And I was
Agreed.
like, I like that. It's like a dark.
Yeah.
Everybody, everyone's gonna fucking die.
I loved the way it looked. I think besides Star Wars and Empire, I consider it third as far as the way it looks.
I would go with that.
My biggest problem was he didn't bone her on the beach when they were going to die. I mean, he should have just threw it in her.
Would have had to be quick.
Yeah.
So I got.
Well, at least in mid-coitus.
I got a
you know.
question for the room. So if you had to pick one character, one scenario for another Star Wars universe film, what would it be?
Oh wow! I still
say that one more time.
So if you had to, because the Star Wars universe is doing individual things, like you have Rogue One, you have
backstory,
Han Solo,
like
what sort of backstory?
Side story, side backstory.
What would that be?
Good one. So Solo's probably the first.
I want to see more like Jabba, Tatooine, like gangster shit, like Boba Fett, like IG. I want Bosk and Dengar and Forlom and like just gritty, kind of like a Rogue One, like Western. You know what I mean? Like everybody's probably gonna die. Disposable characters, gangster
Initially,
shit with the Han Solo, not the character, but that like cowboy, like you know, I love you, I know, like that kind of like throwaway, like I don't give a shit vibe. More of that.
I want to see what happens between Star Wars and Jedi. Because at the end of Star Wars, it's like, boom, we destroy the Empire. Yes, I'm sorry.
Empire
oh,
and
yeah. Between StarArs and Empire.
Oh,
because at the end of Star Wars, it's like, okay, we destroy the Death Star, we're on top of the world.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, at the beginning of fucking Empire. They're on the run and they're hiding.
They had all the Star Destroyers and they had the Executor, the big Darth Vader's mothership. They had all that.
Right.
The Emperor. So they really the Death Star was more of a tool, a weapon, rather than the whole deal.
And Leia and Luke have both risen in the ranks. That was hard for me to say. Risen in the ranks of the Rebel Alliance by Empire.
I think as a character, you're trying what backstory.
Well,
what character. I think Kenobi would be cool, but you already know so much about what happens to him because you meet him young in Phantom Menace, and you realize that though there's an age, bit of a suspension of disbelief. You have to kind of go into that Star Wars world. He's a little too young in Return of the Sith and Revenge of the Sith to get to Star Wars. Alec Guinness, it's a bit of a stretch, but
what's the actor that played the young?
Ewan McGregor?
Ewan McGregor. Yeah, he said he would do anything with
that would be phenomenal. I just don't know if there's that much stuff because he's basically on Tatooine guarding Luke.
Right.
Yoda backstory would be cool, but what's he really doing?
See, the one I thought, there's a book on it, and I haven't read it yet, but I should. It's the Tarkin.
Yeah, Tarkin's a great character.
Tarkin would be a great character because basically,
where did he come from?
And he's giving Vader orders.
Yeah.
Like, how does he get that job?
Yeah.
He gets to give Vader orders. I only thought he took orders from one person.
I've got it.
What?
Deadpool. You know that bar that they all go to all the guys? If there was a bounty hunter version.
Yes.
Something
cool.
badass.
And you can tie in almost everybody.
Yeah, Boba Fett with Bosk, and it's like a Deadpool. Like, it has like a slightly bit of that. That would be badass.
That would be awesome. And clearly, not to go this direction, but even look at Deadpool. They were like, we're not giving it an R, we're not giving it an R. And they bent and gave it an R, and it was so successful.
Such a smash, yeah.
Smash. So there is definitely a market for the 20 to 50 demographic for movies like that. Marvel, Star Wars, whatever you want to call it.
I think I was just telling someone this the other day. That's what's so fascinating about it. Happens in music with production, with styles and whatnot, but it really happens right in front of your face with movies. Movies are a certain way, films are a certain way. Well, this is how Batman is with Tim Burton, and this is how Spider-Man is. It's kind of fluffy and ha ha ha. And then Christian Bale comes along and goes, no, this is what Batman could be. And then the whole fucking world changes.
Yep.
And then Iron Man comes out and you're just like, holy shit, this is like... And then everybody tries to do something and most people fail and occasionally get something great. But this is happening with Deadpool in that world. And it's also happening with Star Wars because they're making these films and going, Rogue One, we can make things darker like you said.
Yes.
I would love to see an R-rated Star Wars film.
Oh, yeah.
I would support it.
With titty!
Slave Leia with her top off.
Yes!
Like 6 titty monsters.
Just something...
Just a big tit. One
Jabba
big
the
tit.
Hutt as a woman.
Well, one of my favorite, two of my favorite movies growing up outside of the Star Wars geekdom are Excalibur, John Borman's Excalibur, and Road Warrior, and both of those movies are just they're just in the echelon of like a young boys kind of, it's this warrior shit that happens, this crazy, whether it's Arthurian or this post-apocalyptic thing, and then chicks, girls, naked girls. Whether there's not enough to be like sex and stuff, but it's
a gratuitous fucking titty scene.
It's just something that makes the movie edgy and real.
$20 to whoever fucks
Road Warrior,
Casey next. I was just going to go on I will talk Road Warrior for hours. Hours.
There's not a whole lot.
I could go on for an hour about Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh, I could go on for fucking 3 hours on Smokey and the Bandit.
Meets Star Wars.
There you go.
It kind of is already. If you think about it.
Right?
It's like Han Solo and Leia's like an actress and dancer and he picks her up.
Totally.
The Falcon is the Trans Am.
Yeah.
Chewie's in the Breaker one.
Chewie's the snowman.
Yeah, he's the snowman. We got it.
Break it one now. Break it
up
right
on me. I wasn't looking for mirror. Evil snuck up on me. Gotta get back here in a hurry. It's good shit.
Oh man.
I was just gonna say, I don't know what they're probably gonna. Those questions are probably answered. They're probably gonna expand the most interesting backstory to whoever's around.
And why don't we do this to close it out? What do we expect out of the next movie? Out of the next trilogy movie?
The next, you mean Episode 9?
Episode 9.
Okay,
yes.
I know J.J. Abrams is coming back, and I think I'm grateful for that, which goes back to what I said maybe an hour ago, and feel free to chime in, guys. I expect it, but I thought overall, if I had to go tit for tat, and again, like I said, 20 times versus seeing Episode 8, The Last Jedi, only once. Who did I prefer, directing style, etc.? J.J. Abrams or Rian Johnson? I prefer J.J.'s. So, and I'm not a Star Trek fan. I get it, and I like what he did with the movies, and I like how he tied it all together. Yeah. But overall, I think, J.J.'s thing maybe a little better, and I'm glad to see that he's kind of coming back to close. He opened it and is closing it. And obviously, Ryan, Kathleen Kennedy and Disney and all that nonsense and all the mucky mucks in the offices everywhere loved what he did with 8 here enough because they just gave him another trilogy. But what am I expecting? I'd like some resolution. I'd like to know, like, I guess I go back to what I was saying is I want Kylo, I want some redemption, some resolution, and if we're really killing off this whole Skywalker lineage, they definitely have to wrap it up nicely with some bows. And
I'm not entirely convinced. I don't know how, but I'm not entirely convinced that Rey and Kylo aren't related.
I know, because there is...
At first I was like, dude, they're
I thought they were too.
When I walked out of Force Awakens, everyone was like, she's a Skywalker. I'm like, she's not a Skywalker. She's not a Skywalker. And I was trying, she's not from Luke. She's not Luke's kid. Like, it's usually the things with Star Wars are that everyone goes off on the fringe. Oh, it's, right. You know what? It's a thing. It's this. It's that. And, it's always the most basic answer.
Well, it's about a family. At the end of the day, it's about a family.
And it was about twins, and it'll probably be about
like
twins
Dallas
again.
Right, because you look, I mean, who had the fucking connection where they could appear to each other? Not just mentally, but actually physically in person. It was Luke and Leia.
Yep.
And it was fucking Kylo and fucking Rey.
There's some amazing reason why it's been hidden that Rey is related to Kylo.
Well, I think...
Why don't they know? Why? I mean, it's probably not, but why doesn't Leia know?
Well, and obviously... I don't think they're the same age. I don't know if I can get behind the twin thing because I think Kylo Ren is older.
He's older. Yeah,
he's older.
Yeah.
But
a lot of the...
I think, obviously Han and Leia split up and blah, blah, blah. Maybe she had like a side piece.
Well, dude, remember that...
With another joke. Yeah.
Remember that scene at the end of Episode 7 when Rey comes walking off that ship and fucking there's Leia and they have hug,
a connection.
And there's a connection there. That's like a mother-daughter connection.
There's
That's
definitely
something.
I like I said maybe a minute ago I have a hard time buying that. Oh, your parents are just some junkers that sold you for whiskey money.
Completely agree.
I can't. I think just who said that? Kylo Ren.
I
think that was just him just trying to
another thing
throw you off the mark.
I was really disappointed, and I was hoping that it was going to come in this movie, and we didn't get any backstory. So those little backstories and resolution on like something. I really wanted to have Max von Sydow's.
What the fuck?
Where did he come from? Because he obviously knows something important.
And they kill him 3 minutes into the fucking...
Yeah, it's like, it was tough. So I thought, he's probably going to have some flashback backstory so you get the idea of who this is. But, they don't have forever to construct the movie. But I think, what about Rey going to the dark side?
Well, you can see her... she's got some rage to her. If you watch the arc of the last two movies, you can see her.
She's yelling out.
Yeah,
she's got some
frustrated.
But I guess the thing is, are we ultimately like looking at the first three to base what's coming next? And
you are.
Well, I am.
But the Force Awakens is a carbon copy of Star Wars.
It is. Yes. It is. It was. No, I don't think it was. I thought Force Awakens was a carbon copy, and I thought that was a safe play, but it was the play that they had to do after what the prequels did. It was.
There was the resistances in foxholes and salt, red sand instead of. Snow and light, and those little like junk speeders are just like different from the snow speeders. It's so close, the ideas, and it's great. That's great. I mean, it all feels like home. So it's not. I'm not going to complain about it.
What that does is that gives us a sense of familiarity for guys like us, the old timers. And if you're 12 and you've only seen maybe some of or none of, it's a subtle reboot. A subtle.
Have you guys? Okay, now that have you guys watched The Empire Strikes Back? They cut Empire Strikes Back with. Is it with The Force Awakens or with The Last Jedi? And the beat is like identical.
I'm sure that's on purpose.
No, it's like home when you see it. There's something that's familiar about it. So
that's for us.
It feels right.
The nerds.
I think that's why I was looking forward to Rogue One to have something totally different in it. Just for me,
that's why I'm confused that you didn't like it.
Exactly.
It's not over yet. I wish I'm
you saw the theater once and that was it.
That was it.
As your friend, I recommend you at least give it a second.
We can sit and watch it on that wall right after we're done here.
I'm going deep on it. My friend has a huge 80-inch screen, Blu-ray, and he's
that's bigger than an 80-inch screen.
Yeah, it looks like a
that's like 95, right?
No, not
in the other room.
Out the other room.
That's like 120, right?
That's like fucking 27 foot by 20 foot.
Yeah. How does Blu-ray look on that? Can
fucking amazing.
I bet.
Fucking
It's
amazing.
HD.
So, all right, so we're closing this. What do we expect out of the new movie? Do we cover this?
You know what? I'll be honest.
What about Ray and Finn getting together?
I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to hook up with Rose.
Yeah.
Rose is the new
I thought she died.
No, she lived.
She didn't.
She
die.
lived? All right.
lives.
So and then there's.
I was
gonna be
worried
some
about my phone
conflict between
and
Rose
having to take a shit.
And Ray? Rose and Ray, they're going to fight over John Boyega?
What's that gonna?
I can go really blue with this, but I'm not
Where's it leading? No more Han, no more Leia.
A three-way, I hope.
You can't. I was really hoping at some point that they were going to have a Qui-Gon Force Ghost somewhere.
I don't feel like he fits into this story.
No.
In the prequels, I thought that was going to happen. It's such a
yeah.
strong way
Yeah,
to use
makes
something
sense.
from the past. So I'm so glad they brought back Yoda. So they brought back Yoda.
Yep.
That hand can't be used.
Yeah.
That's already. So what surprises can happen? And there was also rumors.
Could Vader come to come in again in a
well, there was rumors
as
that
Anakin.
Yes,
that Hayden
Christensen. I heard
actually,
that.
I thought, because
I thought that would be a nice way to tie it together.
I wanted him to be able to have some redemption as an actor because I don't think he was as terrible as everybody says in Revenge of the Sith.
I
think
agree.
It was the direction, the writing, and the dialogue.
Absolutely,
is what made it.
and everyone was way
But
too hard.
okay, how did you feel about in the special editions putting him in there instead of the old guy?
I
And
think
the
it's just
fucking-
part of the. I think
that's
it
part
makes
of the-
sense.
you have to.
And at that point, when they're it's retconning. And Google that. By the
See,
way.
I still hate it.
You hate it?
I hate it.
I mean, if we're going to go that direction, I didn't mind any of that. Like you were talking about earlier with the Emperor, where they changed and put Ian McDermott there, blah blah blah. What I hated was I hated how they changed the Boba Fett whole.
He went to the Aussie.
Yeah, I just felt like Jeremy Bullock, who did the original thing, even his gritty.
It was
voice.
kind of a letdown. It wasn't as cool.
It wasn't as
cool. And it would have been. I know it's tough because they're clones, but Boba wasn't. He was a. Wasn't he natural? He was
a natural whatever. He was a
yeah,
kid.
it would have been nice to Boba just to have his own thing and say. That definitely bothered me in the big pictures to have that the accent.
Me too.
Transcend into the new movies and there was when you start tinkering with that kind of stuff, you get in this like Zappa mode. It's like
Right. Well, see, and that's we were talking about. You had brought up the idea that maybe Rey was a Kenobi.
That's a
because of the
fan
accent.
theory I've heard.
I don't think it works on
No.
the timeline.
But she's got a British accent. When you think about it, Leia and Luke have English accents. I think there's some wherever she comes from has to have something to do with.
That would be cool.
You know
That
what I
would be
mean?
great.
But she could be related to Alec Guinness because she's English.
I don't know if that timeline works with her age.
No, I think it would be a grandchild or something like that.
Oh, there you go. So just lineage.
Lineage.
But I don't know.
Lineage.
But she's so dark. There has to be.
But then again, I heard the flip side of the coin, which was that, like, oh, look at Anakin. When he was a kid, who was his dad? We don't know. And his mom was literally nobody.
A huge Swedish actress.
Really?
Huge.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Okay, but I mean, like, the character was nobody.
No.
So you could say, well, maybe Rey is just it's a spark in the dark or whatever it is, just some random. I mean, look at anything like someone with a second thumb or whatever. It's just some random
twin dongs. I mean,
twin
whatever.
dongs. Yeah, summers in Rangoon.
They have to. Obviously, they're going to bring back the hope of new Jedi Force.
Well, there are clearly Force-sensitive individuals, regardless of whether there is a Jedi faction.
What can they bring that's fresh?
But
and then what surprises are left that they can potentially drum up from the past?
There has to be a hope for the light side of the Force, whether they're called Jedis, like Sith and blah blah blah, and this and that and the other thing. Who cares what they're called? But there has to be a future positive group of Force-sensitive.
Yeah, Anakin was the last Sith. That was it.
I think you're right.
Yeah. Kylo's not a Sith.
But I think somebody needs to guide Kylo. Still.
The Sith, yeah.
But he look at the episode 7. He looks at Rey and he goes, "You need guidance."
Yeah,
at the end of the movie.
Who's his master.
He needs a secret apprentice.
Yeah, there's something else. I mean, I don't count out that Darth Plagueis could come back.
We could go you could go like episode 9 ties into the
I would love. What about? I mean, it would just
because the Plagueis thing is
if
still
it's
kind of
canon.
untapped.
I say you bring back Darth Maul.
I mean, if we're gonna go that way, yeah. I mean, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but Darth Maul was the very first movie.
Whatever. We don't know what we don't know what species he is. He could live 500 years.
Well, it's not that.
He's got to have crab legs though. Like
Obi-Wan was like. I mean, you're talking like 80 years. I mean, it's not that long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what were we saying the other day? It was like 100 years.
He's
Something
not
like
a human. Yeah, what's the?
Yeah, because we were saying there's no way.
The Battle of Yavin.
What's the timeline?
Because we're saying there's no way that Jar Jar's still alive.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was like, well, if you do the math, he'd have to be 500 years old. Fuck Jar Jar. Nobody wants to see a Jar Jar anything.
So misguided.
Agreed.
And that was the whole same thing, going back with the kids thing and George Lucas and the time frame. He's a bunch of 10-year-old kids. I'll write this character that my kids like. Okay, great, fine, fanfare, sure. And then but the old timers like us, we don't want that shit.
Well, no, let's not forget this little kid at the very ending.
Yeah,
that will lead into something.
Yeah, those are the future, the force sensitive.
Who is it? Yeah,
And how many years is going to be between?
I think between 8 and 9.
Yeah,
it can only be so many years.
Let's be honest.
It'll be 3 years or 2 years or 6 months.
Let's be honest. For our age group, to me, the more they get away from Chewie, Leia, Luke, Han, those, like for me, like the greatest...
The anchors.
The anchors, the Tarkins, the CGI of Rogue One and things like that. Vader, being able to see Vader. Those are the Easter eggs. Those are the things that are so fascinating. When Yoda comes, you're like, you're just dying. It's just so amazing. So they're really lucky to have Daisy Ridley because she's just stunning.
Yeah.
And really fits the role. They're so fortunate that they found her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where's it going to go? What new characters can come up that really bring you in? But it's possible. Like Game of Thrones keeps getting better. I hope. Like we were saying earlier, hopefully Ron Howard has dialed in Solo.
I hope so.
Hopefully this.
I have faith in him.
I do too. Because he's on our fucking age group.
He knows how to do
and he's part of the whole Lucas and Kathleen Kennedy lineage. I mean, if you go back to the beginning of his career,
he was in
American Graffiti. He's been there from the get-go. So
he knows how to do it. He knows how to
better than him.
He knows how to hit notes and beats and stuff. He was on Happy Days as there's that Fonz thing, that magical. He can do it. I think Ron can do it. Hopefully, he can bring the coolness factor to it. And
Fonz, the original Han Solo.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. That's what we want. He's a fucking space cowboy. We want Han Solo is the elbow the Coke machine,
but only when Fonz used to wear the blue jacket, pre-leather jacket.
Pre-leather jacket.
The devil.
I was
when you think back to that, when you were bringing the liver, and he's like, it's so funny now when you think to it.
I actually, at a sidebar, to quote you, I sat on the Fonz's motorcycle.
The one he used to jump the shark?
I met Henry Winkler.
I sat on his bike.
Oh, that's right. He was
episodes. Danny, our bass player, ran into him at LAX, and he goes, I was just coming out of the bathroom, and I saw Henry Winkler. And Danny, for those listening, my bass player from Fast Pussycat, he goes, hey! And Henry Winkler just went like this, and shook his head and went, no. And then, but check it out. And then Danny was like, oh, I'm sorry. And then Henry Winkler goes, hey! Yes! You're fucking with him!
That's it.
And on that note, I gotta pee. I'm out.
All right. But just hold up before you go. Do we have anything you need to pimp? What's coming up for Pussycat?
2018. I'm doing a bunch of dates with various people. I'm in Damon's band now, where he doesn't know it yet. We're called the Lightsabers. I'm doing dates with Yerky from the 69 Eyes, their Finnish rock band, great band.
You playing with the 69 Eyes?
No, I wish I was in the fucking band. The singer, Yerky, he's going solo.
Oh, sweet.
So I'm doing his thing. We
did some shows with those guys.
They're great, right? Yeah. It's like Sisters of Mercy, Typo Negative kind of thing. Yerky 69. Pussycat's got some stuff. We'll be in the Monsters of Rock cruise. Yeah, Larry Duran coming at ya. That's it. Just some stuff I can't talk about yet. And
did you get those results back or no?
Yeah, the bumps are don't worry, Damon. You're good. You can't get them.
I have quite good laser precision. I can laser that shit off. I can use the
Force.
The Force.
Yeah. Now that's it, gentlemen.
Matt, anything on the Monster?
I love that we're all drinking Monster Energy.
I just had my first Monster water tour.
Well,
water.
that's
Tour water.
I love this.
Promotional thing.
I
that we
need.
do.
Oh, really?
We'll get you.
I need to have these in the cult. These
And
are
let me say
amazing.
this: that I
Not
love
any
this
energy.
this
Energy.
mango
Is Coven
loco monster
Coven
juice.
Monster?
Is,
Yeah.
You're good.
This mango loco
That's my
monster
favorite.
juice is amazing.
That's my favorite.
It is amazing.
Is this energy or is this just juice?
It's energy.
That's energy, brother.
Packed energy in there.
About time I have some.
We have a bunch of festivals we're sponsoring coming up in 2018 with Danny Limmer Presents, Rock on the Range, Carolina Rebellion, Rocklahoma. Well, that's kind of Limmer, but we're sponsoring Rocklahoma, which the Cult is playing.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're on.
Welcome to Rockville. There's about 7 or 8 of them. So go to monsterenergy.com. Check it out.
And by the way, as a musician and all that, Monster Energy I think is great with sponsoring these festivals and really keeping the forward momentum in not only the festivals and like you just said, the Cult there with Monster and
Ace Von Johnson.
I'm
Monster Energy
sponsored
artist
by
as well.
I'm a Monster Energy artist and the support that company and you give not only class. I mean, the Cult is a classic rock band. Faster Pussycat is basically a classic rock band. But younger bands too. I mean,
we sponsor everything from like bands like Attila to Jonathan Davis.
Billy Joel's first band.
No, that's a different Attila.
Wow, some nerd knowledge. But what I'm getting at is I think I can't think of one company even remotely close that does what Monster does for the rock community.
Yeah.
And I think that there's something
They're
to
a
say
pillar.
about that. Thank you, Monster Energy.
I don't have the clapping on here yet anymore, so I'll just still give you the Pat Fontaine laugh.
Yeah.
And then the Cult. Tell us what's up with Damon.
Yeah, what's up with the Cult?
I got nothing happening. Just a bunch more viewings of The Last Jedi.
There it is.
There you go.
And I need to see Rogue One for real. And
yes, you
do.
See
if I can become one with the Force.
We'll line it up. You come over here. We'll watch it on the wall.
You become one with the Force.
We'll do it real.
Become one with you.
There you go.
Social media. Anybody wants to hit you guys up?
At Ace Von Johnson.
Damon Fox. Darth Damon Fox.
I was going to say at Monster Energy and at Monster Music.
There you go. Okay, let me hit my outro music here.
Amen.
Oh my God.
All right, Ace Von Johnson, please go, Pete. Thank you, everybody, for chiming in to this beautiful Star Wars Geek Fest, Nerdfest edition. Make sure you do check out all the social media at Real Izzy Presley on Twitter machine and on Instagram. Yes, I need to smoke as well. I'll be joining you in a second. Facebook.com/Another Podcast and Izzy Presley 1 on Facebook as well. And also every Saturday, 2 p.m. on Unfiltered Radio. That's a PH, unfilteredradio.com. You can hear another. It's the reboot of my show called Under the Covers. Izzy Presley, your favorite bands on it. Let's check all that shit out. And if you want to send me money, please do so. It's izzy.presley@gmail.com. So PayPal, check all of that stuff out. Send me money, buy merch, hit the Facebook page. I'll post the links. I'll see you on the Monsters of Rock Cruise and at NAMM for Soundcheck Live, kicking off Bash. That's going to be amazing. Get your tickets now. Run, don't walk to your ticket office. See you next week. I do love you all.